Fans, it's now time for Fresno Grizzly baseball. Catch the fun all season long right here on KAAT 103.1 The One. Now let's head to the ballpark for the Miller Lite pregame show with the voice of the Grizzlies, Doug Greenwald.
And a pleasant good evening, everybody, and welcome to Fresno Grizzlies baseball. I'm Doug Greenwald, coming to you live tonight. We're at Franklin Covey Field here in downtown Salt Lake City, Utah, getting set for action. The visiting Fresno Grizzlies and the hometown Salt Lake Stingers. Last night, opening night, Salt Lake an 8-4 win behind the pitching of Steve Green and the outstanding hitting of first baseman Rob Quinlan, who reached base 4 times, including a big blow, a 3-run homer, and that 5-run second for Salt Lake, which, as it turns out, was all the runs they needed. So Fresno tonight looking to get on the winners column for the first time this year, and they will do so by sending to the mound veteran right-hander Brian Cooper, who is no stranger to Salt Lake, having pitched in the Anaheim Angels organization for many years. He'll be opposed by the very highly touted and hard-throwing right-hander Bobby Jenks. First pitch in about 15 minutes. This is game 2 of this 4-game set. Tonight, 5:30 Fresno time. Tomorrow also at 5:30 Fresno time. And then we go at 1 o'clock Fresno time on Sunday before heading to Yuma to take on the Edmonton Trappers for 4. Well, before the ball game on the Miller Lite pregame show, we had a chance to sit down and talk to the Fresno Grizzlies pitching coach, Ross Grimsley, a veteran of 14 years at the major league level as a pitcher, and no stranger to the Giants front office as a pitching coach, now in his 6th year in one capacity or another as a pitching instructor, whether it be at single A, double A, or now triple A, and also was a roving instructor back in 2001. But this is Ross's first time, really full-time in Fresno. And we had a chance to talk to him about what he likes about Grizzly Stadium and about what it's like to be a pitching coach at the AAA level, where you work with guys who have been in the big leagues for 10 years or maybe guys who are still on their way up. Ross will talk about that when we get back. This is the Miller Lite pregame show on KAAT 103.1 The One.
Get ready for another test. Yeah, we know you've had enough tests to last a lifetime, but this one's actually kind of fun. It's the Miller Taste Challenge. Just order a Miller Genuine Draft and a Budweiser. Then see them, smell them, and taste them. First, take a look at the color. Miller Genuine Draft has a rich golden hue. Now for smell. Don't worry, you don't have to swirl it around like some kind of wine snob. Just take a whiff. You're looking for a nice malty aroma. Finally, the most important part, take a sip. We don't need to tell you what to look for when it comes to tasting a beer. It ought to taste smooth with a full balanced flavor. In other words, Miller Genuine Draft. So that's it, the whole test. We think you'll prefer Miller Genuine Draft, the beer with genuine flavor that's cold filtered smooth. But don't take our word for it. Try the test and see for yourself. Because at Miller, we believe there's good enough and there's better than it has to be. Miller. Good call. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
And welcome back to Fresno Grizzlies baseball. Doug Greenwald with you as the Grizzlies get set for game 2 of this 4-game series here in Salt Lake. And we're joined by Fresno pitching coach Ross Grimsley. And I mentioned Fresno pitching coach, your first time out here really for the long haul. And I have to ask you, you've had a chance to see downtown Grizzly Stadium. And I bet when you were in the minor leagues, they didn't have stadiums like that.
No, not even close. It's a big step up from the field that I saw here a few years ago when I was roving. It's a little bit better than a college field.
Well, being a AAA now, it's been a while since you've been a AAA pitching coach. You spent many years in Calgary in the same capacity in the Mariners organization. What is the biggest difference working with AAA guys as opposed to the AA or single A products?
Well, probably a lot of guys here, most of them are veteran-type guys, and they have a little bit better idea of what has to be done. Probably one of the bigger things is the attitude that you have coming up, coming down. Some of the guys that go up, then they wonder why it wasn't them when they weren't picked, and guys coming down, are kind of feeling sorry for themselves at times. But overall, it's basically the same in a roundabout way, other than those small things like that.
I was going to ask you about that. You have a guy in this roster, and Dave Beers, 10 years in the major leagues. Last year he's pitching with the Chicago Cubs, a few years before in the St. Louis Cardinals. How much do you teach him, so to speak, as you would, let's say, a younger guy like a Kevin Correa?
Well, I mean, obviously there's more. The younger guy is not really certain. Like Kevin Correa's case, he hadn't played very long, and he's still learning about himself. And you get a guy, this veteran type guy, he has an idea what he has to do, and you just try to figure out what his program is, what he what his problems are. If you don't know them, what to look for, and any suggestions that you might have to throw out. But he's coming off of a shoulder problem. He hadn't regained his strength yet, so it's kind of a touch and feel thing with him at this time, and he's trying to gain arm strength again. So it's like I said, it's a touch and feel thing, and we just play it by ear. But I think a lot of the guys, it's really a bonus having a guy like that on a ball club because he can help some of the younger guys, and they can learn from him.
Jeff Irvin, Noah Lowry, Adam Pettyjohn, all left-handers on this staff. You're a left-handed pitcher. Do you think it's easier when you go out and talk to them from a left-handed point of view, so to speak?
Oh, obviously, it's a little bit better. You have an idea what it's what it's like for them and what would what things could benefit them. But obviously, it's a bonus when you're left-handed.
You spent last year with the new Giants AA team in Norwich, Connecticut. How are the San Francisco Giants, I won't say accommodated, but how are they perceived in Norwich by the fans? So that's Yankee, Red Sox, New York Met, Philly territory. And here's a team from the West Coast going back there.
Yeah, we were, welcomed with open arms. I mean, they couldn't, the organization there, front office, they bent over backwards and were very accommodating and really thrilled to have us there. And it was just a great spot to be. The weather wasn't accommodating, but overall it was very good. It was a good place. The field needed some work, and I think they've done a lot of things. They've been really, like I said, really accommodating and bent over backwards to really help the organization.
And finally tonight you have going Brian Cooper, one of many that you're really unfamiliar with. He spent all spring training in the big camp. And there are a lot of players at this AAA team that you have not seen, but what can you tell us about Brian Cooper?
The only time that I think I've seen him pitch twice in games, and both times I was in the bullpen, so I know he throws a lot of strikes. He changes speeds real well, has a breaking ball. He's had some good numbers in the past in AAA, and he had an outstanding spring this year, and probably very easily could have made the team along with a couple other guys, but he should do a pretty good job for us. And like I said, he's a strike thrower and changes speeds, and he should keep us in the ballgame.
All right, Ross, well, it's fun to have a chance to work with you again, and best of luck this season.
Thank you.
All right, that was Ross Grizzlies pitching coach. Back with more in a moment.
Emergency hotline, can I help you?
Hello? Yes, I need help.
All right, sir, what's the problem?
I can't taste my beer.
You can't taste your beer.
No, and it's really freaking me out.
Okay, calm down, sir.
I take a sip, I feel it in my mouth. It's wet, but there's no taste. Nothing.
Okay, sir, listen to me. Sir, stay with me. What's your name?
Robert.
Okay, Robert, this is what I want you to do. Put the bottle down and step away from the beer. Go ahead.
Okay, I did it.
Now I want you to leave the house immediately, walk straight down to the corner store, and pick up a 6-pack of Miller Lite. Robert, are you listening?
Yes.
Open one, take a sip, and everything should be right back to normal.
Okay.
Don't worry, Robert. We've seen this problem before. It's going to be all right.
Next time, try the light beer that actually tastes like beer. Great tasting, less filling, Miller Lite. Miller. Good call. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
And welcome back to the Miller Lite pregame show. Doug Greenwald with you on KAAT 103.1. The One. I want to thank Grizzlies pitching coach Ross Grimsley for joining us. Ross, I had the pleasure to work with him for a season in Shreveport back in 2000, and one of the real class acts in baseball. And Fresno is fortunate to have Ross Grimsley, Fred Stanley, and Steve Decker all as the uniformed field staff for this season. A man who, in Grimsley, spent 14 years in the major leagues, won 20 games with the Montreal Expos back in 1978. And certainly a wealth of pitching knowledge. Not only is Fresno and the Grizzlies organization fortunate to have a guy like Ross Grimsley, but more importantly, so is the San Francisco Giants organization. We thank Ross for joining us on the Miller Lite pregame show. Miller Lite, half the carbs of Bud Light. Now that's what you call great taste, less filling. Miller Lite, good call. Now it's time to take a look at the Supercuts starting lineups. 25 locations in the Valley and growing. Call 1-800-SUPERCUTS for the store near you. For Fred Stanley and the Fresno Grizzlies, this is what they look like tonight. Brian Dallimore will lead it off at third base. The shortstop is Jamie Athas. He hits second. Todd Lemon gets the call in right field. He bats third. Cleanup man tonight is Damon Reiner, plays first base. Rob Stratton is the designated hitter, batting fifth. Davey Cruz gets his first start of the year. He is at second base, hitting sixth. Adam Shabala plays left field, and he bats seventh. Trey Lunsford does the catching, hits eighth. And batting ninth in center field to Jason Ellison. On the mound tonight for Fresno is right-hander Brian Cooper. Dallimore, Athas, Linden, Minor, Stratton, Cruz, Shabala, Lunsford, and Ellison with Cooper on the mound. For Mike Brumley and the Salt Lake Stingers, Alfredo Meza going to lead it off at shortstop. Brian Gordon hits second. He plays right field. Rob Quinlan plays first base. He hits third. Adam Riggs is the designated hitter, bats cleanup. Barry Wesson plays center field, hits fifth. Alex Polias is at third base, batting sixth. Behind the plate tonight, in the seventh slot in the order, is Wilbert Nieves. Gary Johnson, a big two-run double last night in the eighth inning, plays left field and bats eighth. And Brian Specht is at second base, batting ninth. On the hill tonight for the Stingers, the very hard-throwing right-hander Bobby Jenks. And we'll talk about just how hard he throws when the game gets underway. Amazica, Gordon, Quinlan, Riggs, Wesson, Polias, Nieves, Johnson, and Specht with Jenks on the hill. Your Supercuts starting lineups. Again, Supercuts, 25 locations in the Valley and growing. Call 1-800-SUPERCUTS for the store near you. Last night, Salt Lake an 8-4 winner behind the outstanding starting pitching of Steve Green, who went 5 innings, allowed 3 runs, and struck out 4. Adam Pettijohn, the Exeter product, went 4 innings, allowed 5 runs, all of them in the second inning, but did settle down after that. The Grizzlies were able to get back into the ball game, scoring 3 times in the third, 1 more run in the fifth. But that was as close as they came, down 5-4. And after that, Salt Lake finished the scoring by adding 3 more runs after to win 8-4. Also around the Pacific Coast League, last night, opening night for everybody in the league, Colorado Springs knocked off Nashville 6-3. Elsewhere, Iowa, by that same score, knocked off New Orleans at Sec Taylor Stadium in downtown Des Moines, Iowa. Memphis beat Albuquerque 5-2, that game in Memphis. Omaha, its season opener, a loser at home to Oklahoma, 6-4. The wildest game of the night was in Tucson, with Tucson a 9-8 win. The game went 4 hours and 29 minutes. Tucson committed 7 errors in the contest, but still won the ball game. So a very crazy opening to the 2004 season for both Tacoma and Tucson. Other games in Yuma last night. Sacramento picked up from where it left off, 7-4 win over Edmonton. And we will head to Yuma coming up after this series in Salt Lake for 4 games. And then the other game last night in the Pacific Coast League, Las Vegas beat up on Portland 7-2. The very highly touted Edwin Jackson, the winner in that ball game. So that is a look at what happened in the PCL. Around the league tonight, all the same matchups. Colorado Springs is at Nashville. New Orleans plays at Iowa. Albuquerque visits Memphis. Oklahoma is at Omaha. Tacoma plays at Tucson. Sacramento is at Edmonton. And Portland is at Las Vegas. So that is what is happening around the Pacific Coast League here on this Friday night. It was rather chilly during batting practice this evening. In fact, the entire grounds crew was on the field ready to pull the tarp. Light rain, and they were expecting a huge storm to blow through, which was only going to last about 5 or 10 minutes. However, it was going to do enough damage to wipe out the field. pretty much. And the tarp was never pulled. Apparently, the mountain intercepted the storm, and things are okay. And it's a bit on the chilly side here, which is the norm in northern Utah this time of year, but certainly playable, partly cloudy skies, but good conditions for baseball. Now we will keep it here for the playing of the national anthem. And the national anthem here tonight. Boy, a scene that Prince would be proud of. The Doves are flying right now over the field, and they're about to release a bald eagle any moment. So a very pretty setting right here in Salt Lake. The Salt Lake Zoo, the Hogle Zoo that's been here since the early 30s, coming out here tonight and letting the doves out. Some teams let the dogs out. That's what Fresno will be doing coming up on April 21st, a 7:05 start. Or let me correct that, on April 20th, a 7:05 start against the Edmonton Trappers. It's going to be 50-cent hot dog at night. So come on out Tuesday night, April 20th. 50-cent hot dogs at downtown Grizzlies Stadium, sponsored by Evergood Fine Foods. One of many promotions we're going to be having coming up in April. Opening night, April 16th, against these same Salt Lake Stingers. That will be a week from tonight, as a matter of fact, at the ballpark. And that'll be sponsored, the postgame fireworks, by Napa Auto Parts. So a lot of fun coming up, and we'll talk a lot about that as the road trip continues. Salt Lake is taking the field. We'll look at them defensively from left to right. Gary Johnson, Gary Wesson in center, and Brian Gordon in right. From third to first, Alex Polias, Alfredo Amezaga is at shortstop, Brian Specht at second base, Rob Quinlan is at first, and the battery consists of the catcher Wilbert Nieves and the night starting pitcher, right-hander Bobby Jenks, Jenks, man who was invited to a Major League spring training for Jenks. Last year he spent at Double-A Arkansas, where he was an outstanding 7-2 with an ERA at just 2.17. And I'm sure a lot of you have heard about Jenks, 6'6", 270 pounds. And he can throw some gas, as they like to say in the baseball dictionary. Bobby Jenks, 95 to 100 miles an hour. You don't always know where the ball is going, but the Angels, no question about it, very excited about this 23-year-old out of Bothell, Washington, which is in the Seattle area. He gets the call here tonight. Brian Dallimore, Jamie Athis, and Todd Linden on this 51-degree evening here in northern Utah. Glad you can join us for another evening of Fresno Grizzlies baseball. Jenks out of the full lineup on the right-handers. First pitch of the game to Brian Dallimore is a fastball taken for a strike on the inside corner. 0-1, and we are underway in Salt Lake City, Utah. Dallimore, a base hit last night as Jenks comes back. A ground ball to second base. A step to his left. Specht picks it up and throws to Quinlan at first, and Dallimore is out on the same way he was retired last night to open the ball game. A ground ball to second. 1 up, 1 out, and that'll bring up the shortstop, Jamie Athis. Fred Stanley is the third base coach and manager for Fresno. Over at first base, hitting instructor Steve Decker. Athos a 2-run double last night in his first ever AAA game. Jenks to the plate, and Athos takes strike one on the inside corner. 0-1. Athos last night a 2-run double in the third. Overall was 1 for 2. Jenks comes back, and Athos looks up and away. A ball and a strike. Scott Latinder calls balls and strikes. Sean Rakos is the umpire at first. Blake Jensen is the umpire at third. Jenks' 1-1 delivery is ripped out in the left center field. That's going to be in for a base hit, maybe more. Johnson has to hustle to cut it off and will hold Athos to a long single. Jamie Athos 1 for 1 tonight. That is the first hit for either team. First base runner as well. And that'll bring up the right fielder, Todd Linden. Get a beautiful view of the Wasatch Mountains here in Salt Lake. Postcard-like setting with the snow-capped mountains. Absolutely beautiful. That's the best word to describe it. This is a mountain range that extends up to where the Pioneer League teams play come June with Ogden and Provo. 3 professional baseball teams here in the Beehive State. Now here is Linden. And an RBI last night. Athos, the runner at first base, and Linden swings, grounds one slowly toward short, charged by Amaziga, gloves it on the grass portion of the diamond, throws on the run, gets Linden 2 down. Athos scoots down to second, and that'll bring up the first baseman, Damon Miner. Hey, Grizzlies fans, have you heard? Your neighborhood Subway restaurants have delicious salads, like the new Atkins Friendly Grilled Chicken and Baby Spinach, or the classic Club Salad. And Subway salads are made fresh right in front of you. So head to a greater Fresno area Subway restaurant today. Subway, eat fresh. Damon Miner going with the short sleeves tonight on this rather crisp early April evening. Athos a big lead at second. Miner swings and a drive well hit center field. Way back goes Wesson. He looks up. It is gone. A home run for Damon Miner. 420 feet away, straight away center field. And the Grizzlies are on the board first with 2 runs here in the top of the first inning. Damon Miner going deep. Something he did 24 times last year, 8 times in Fresno and 16 at Scranton of the International League. And that is tonight's Carl's Jr. Big League play of the game. So here is Rob Stratton, and he takes low outside, ball 1, 1-0. Right-handed batter struck out 4 times last night, and he swings and misses a high fastball from Jenks. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, you couldn't have pointed from home plate to center field as straight as that ball was hit by Damon Miner. Stratton takes strike 2 on the inside corner, 1-2. Talk about a straight line. Right over the 420-foot sign. You don't often see line drive homers to center field. But you did there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jenks to the plate, and Stratton takes up and away, 2-2. So 420 to straightaway center, 345 to left field, 315 down the right field line, 8-foot fence all the way around. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, and Stratton swings and misses a high fastball, and he is out. But the Grizzlies in the first scored twice on a homer by Miner, 1 hit. There are 2 hits and nobody left. After half an inning tonight in Utah, Fresno 2, Salt Lake coming up on 103.1, The One.
So last week, Jimmy got his hair colored.
Hair color? Jimmy? Isn't that a little,
expensive? That's what I thought. But Jimmy says Supercuts colors hair now, so it's completely affordable.
Well, I was leaning more towards, isn't that kind of like,
risky? That's what I thought. But Jimmy says Supercuts stylists are trained in hair coloring, so they're not going to mess it up.
Well, that's great information, but I mean, isn't coloring your hair considered somewhat, like...
permanent? That's what I thought. But Jimmy says Supercuts can do it so it'll last till it grows out, or till it gradually fades out. And he says the ladies love it.
Hold the telescope. Ladies love it?
That's what Jimmy says.
Hey, didn't we pass the Supercuts back to the waist?
I think so.
Hair coloring at Supercuts. You know how it is. Supercolor available at select locations.
Time for a change? Try Supercuts' new service, Supercolor. Whether it's highlights, tips, or an all-out glazing, Supercolor is a quick, affordable way for both men and women to show their true colors. Call your local Supercuts to see if Supercolor has arrived.
Opening night at downtown Grizzly Stadium is fast approaching. Get your tickets now for April 16th. The Grizzlies host the Salt Lake Stingers. First pitch, 7:05. Make sure to stay for the Napa Auto Parts fireworks show after the game. For more information, contact the Grizzlies front office at 559-442-1994. Grizzlies baseball. There is nothing minor about it. Grizzlies have a 2-run lead as we go to the bottom half of the first inning tonight here in Salt Lake, thanks to a Damon Minor 2-run homer. Doug Greenwald with you on KAT 103.1, The One. And Brian Cooper on the hill tonight for Fresno, man that spent all of the 2001 season, or just about all of the 2001 season here in Salt Lake, where he went 12-8 with the Stingers, coming over from the Toronto Blue Jays organization. And he'll make his giant minor league debut here tonight against Alfredo Amezaga, Brian Gordon, and Rob Quinlan. The Grizzlies lead for the first time here in 2004. And now Cooper to face Amezaga to start off the home half of the first inning. And Cooper out of the windup, the right-hander's pitch, fastball, strike one called on the outside corner, 0-1. Amezaga last night, a triple and a run scored in the 6th inning, reached base twice. Alomar in the lip of the grass at third, Cooper to the plate, and Amezaga looks low outside. A ball and a strike. Brian Cooper, a 2 and a 4-seam fastball, will mix in a curveball and a change. Good control. The right-hander's 1-1, swung on, lifted high in the air into right center field. Pretty well hit. Ellison on his horse, still going back, and he runs it down. Outstanding running catch by the center fielder, Jason Ellison, about 400 feet away, right in front of the red-hot Chicago hot dog billboard. Well, Amezaga not known for his power, but here in the Utah air, able to get that ball up toward the gap, but Ellison running it down. Outstanding catch by Jason Ellison, something we said a lot last year. Now here is Brian Gordon, left-handed batter, and Cooper out of the windup comes home, and Gordon looks outside. Ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. 2-0 Fresno. We're in the bottom of the first inning. Gordon reached base 3 times last night, including an RBI single in the 6th, and he swings and rips one foul toward the Salt Lake right field bullpen. And the count is at 1-1. Mike Brumley is the third base coach and manager for the Stingers. Now his 3rd season here in Salt Lake in that capacity. Ball and a strike. Cooper to the plate, high fastball, and Gordon swings and misses 1-2. Over at first base, hitting instructor Jim Eppert. Outfield plays Gordon, shallow and around toward left. Member of the Tucson Sidewinders a year ago. Waving that bat back and forth from the left side, and he swings and grounds one slowly to second base. First chance for Davey Cruz, and he throws out Gordon with ease. 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the first inning, and that will bring up the first baseman, Rob Quinlan. Quinlan, who hit .450 a year ago against Fresno pitching, picked right up and delivered 2 hits last night, including a 3-run homer. That was in that 5-run second. And Cooper's first pitch is low to Quinlan, a ball and no strikes. Outfield straight away, not terribly deep for Rob. Most of his power goes to left field. 1 ball, no strikes. Cooper kicks and throws. Quinlan a ground ball up the middle, and he has another base hit into center field. Quinlan is the first base runner for Salt Lake tonight. And that will bring up the designated hitter, Adam Riggs. Take the Miller Genuine Draft Taste Test against Budweiser and see, smell, and taste the difference. At Miller, we believe that there is good enough and better than it has to be. Miller, good call. Well, here is Riggs, the DH tonight. Played left field last night, going 0 for 4. Cooper's pitch to Riggs. Fastball, strike one called on the inside corner, 0-1. Cooper was with the Angels system from 95 through 2001, so 7 seasons. Got into 27 big league games with Anaheim. No balls and a strike. He delivers, and Riggs swings and chops one foul, third base side. 0-2 the count. Cooper grew up in Southern California, grew up in Glendora, in the L.A. area, and then went on to stay in that region for college, going to USC. where he was a member of the Trojans' 1995 College World Series team. No balls, 2 strikes to count with 2 out. 2-0 Fresno. We're in the bottom of the first inning. Game 2 of this series, game 2 of this 8-game road trip. We'll be in Yuma starting on Monday for the first of 4. No balls, 2 strikes, and Riggs swings and pops this one up foul back over the roof here in Salt Lake. Count holds at 0-2. And then we'll make a return trip here to Salt Lake coming up in late May, 28th through the 31st. No balls, 2 strikes to count with the center fielder Barry Wesson on deck. Quinlan the runner at first. Minor holds him on, and Riggs swings and foul tips a high fastball into the glove of the catcher Lunsford. Strike 3. He is out, so are the Stingers, who get a hit and lead 1, and after 1, 2-0 Fresno on 103.1 The One.
What's my Subway salad? Well, it's hard for a farmer man to choose. Yes, my goat friend, the new Atkins-friendly grilled chicken and baby spinach is my favorite, with grilled chicken strips and tasty toppers on a bed of 100% baby spinach. It's Atkins-friendly. So's the classic club salad made fresh under my sniffer. Too bad Atkins ain't for goats. What's your language? My Subway salad, any of the new Subway fresh salads. It's what I eat when I want to eat fresh. Subway, eat fresh.
The Fresno Grizzlies have a full lineup in store for you opening weekend. On Saturday, 7:05, it'll be Jerome Williams bobblehead night for the first 2,500 fans, sponsored by Mervyn's. The weekend is capped on Sunday, a 2:05 matinee. The first 10,000 fans will receive Crazy Paint Fresno Grizzlies magnetic schedules. Tickets are still on sale for all 3 games. Call the Grizzlies front office at 559-442-1994. Grizzlies baseball, there is nothing minor about it.
This is John Bisney, CNN Radio News. Thanks for keeping your radio tuned to the Mountain Cat during these trying times. We'll do our best to keep you informed of current news from around the world, the nation, and California. If you'll give us a few minutes at the top of each hour, we'll keep you informed and up to date. And in the event of critical news, we'll break in with the latest information that affects you. Depend on CNN News and KAAT Radio, the Mountain Cat.
David Cruz to lead it off here in the top of the second inning. 2-0 in favor of Fresno. Greenwald and New on 103.1 The One. Cruz, Shabala, and Lunsford 6, 7, 8 to face the right-hander Bobby Jenks. Allowed a 2-run homer in the top of the first to Damon Minor. Now this is our first look at Davy Cruz, who was just signed by the Giants at the end of spring training from the Orioles. Jenks out of the full lineup and the right-hander to the plate, and Cruz takes that as low for a ball, 1-0. Cruz 7 years in the major leagues, 5 with the Tigers, 1 with the Padres, 1 with the Orioles. That was last year. Ball, no strikes to count. He takes a big swing and a dribbler foul third base side. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hit .250 last year in Baltimore with 14 home runs, but gave way to Miguel Tejada, who was signed in the offseason by the O's. A ball and a strike, and Jenks pitch, swinging a drive foul to the right by Davy Cruz. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This is second tour of duty for Cruz with the Giants. Jenks out of the windup. He kicks and throws and a curve, and Cruz checked his swing. Holds up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Davy was in the system back in the early to mid-90s. And after the 96 season was claimed in the Rule 5 draft by the Detroit Tigers, and Detroit held on to him and began his big league career there. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and he swings and dribbles 1 foul at the plate. 0-2. Rule 5 draft is when a player has been with a team after 3 seasons. If he is not protected on the 40-man roster, he is eligible to be drafted by another team, and that's what happened with Cruz. 2-2 on the way, and that is ripped foul right side. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Adam Shabala waiting on deck. Crowd last night here was just over 7,000. Not quite as many tonight. There's still a threat of rain here in the Wasatch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Davy swings and a drive into right field, and that's going to fall in front of Brian Gordon for a base hit. So Davy Cruz has his first hit as a Fresno Grizzly in his first at bat. And here is the left fielder, Adam Shabala. April 17th. Come on out. The first 2,500 fans at Grizzly Stadium will receive a Jerome Williams bobblehead doll sponsored by Mervyn's. 7:05 start against the same Salt Lake Stingers. One of 5 bobblehead promotions that the Grizzlies are going to have this year. And Jerome is up first. Well, here is Adam Shabala with Cruz at first base. Adam grounded into a double play last night in the 9th inning. Jenks to the plate, a fastball low outside, 1-0. Of Cody Ransom, Todd Linden, bobblehead dolls. Russell Ortiz will also be part of the collection. And those bobbleheads very, very popular. Lead at first by Cruz as Quinlan holds them on. Jenks to the plate and a fastball that's low outside. 2 balls, no strikes. It's also a Jason Ellison bobblehead doll. It'll be June 25th. A lot happening at Grizzly Stadium this season. Shabala ahead in the count of 2 balls and no strikes. Adam hit probably the hardest ball last night. We talked about that on the bus ride back. Jenks to the plate and a fastball up and away, 3-0. Ball he hit was absolutely smashed, and the shortstop Maziga looked like his feet went out from underneath him, able to get the ball and start a 6-4-3 double play. Cruz at first, 3 balls, no strikes, and Jenks comes to the plate and misses high and away. Ball 4. Davy Cruz to second, Adam Shabala the first on a base on balls. First allowed by Jenks tonight. And that will bring up the catcher, Trey Lunsford. And we'll see what Trey is called upon to do. Not normally a guy we see bunt, but early in the game with the Grizzlies up 2-0. A chance if he moves the runners up, then a Jason Ellison single could all of a sudden make it 4-0. So we'll see what Fred Stanley elects to do right here with Lunsford, who was 0 for 3 last night. The Cruz at second, Shabala at first. The infield expecting a bunt. The third baseman, Polias, just back of the lip of the grass. And the pitch to Lunsford swings away and loops one out of the shallow right field. That's going to fall in front of Gordon, a base hit. Davy Cruz will head to the plate as the throw goes to third. Cruz scores, and now hung up between second and third is Shabala. He is out, and taking second base is Lunsford. It is 3-0 Fresno. Well, Davy Cruz looked like was coming to the plate all the way and then stopped about a quarter of the way between third and home. Saw that Gordon still had the ball, then hustled home. Only problem was Shabala kept on running and was right on Cruz's tail. The throw went to third, and Shabala was out at the plate. Didn't even try and knock the ball out of the catcher Nieves' glove. The 3-0 Fresno, and here's Jason Ellison, and he looks at a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Now Lunsford will get credit for a single to right and an RBI. Shabala is out 9-5-2, and Lunsford takes second on the throw. So that's Lunsford's first run batted in this year. Ellison 0-1 to count. On right-handed batter. Lunsford at second, and Jason takes up and in. Followed a strike. Man who is called Ellie by his teammates. 0 for 2 last night. He walked twice. He scored twice. Both walks were leadoff. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lunsford a big lead at second, and Jenks delivers, and Ellison rips one foul right side. And the count moves to 1-2. A couple of players from the Northwest, Jenks and Ellison. Jason grew up in the Seattle area, as did Jason Ellison. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count with 1 out. A 3-0 advantage for the Grizzlies. Are in the top of the second with Lunsford at second base. And Jenks 1-2. Fastball up and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jenks has been in pro ball since 2000. 103 strikeouts last year in just 83 innings with Arkansas. That's the Double-A affiliate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jenks to the plate. Ellison looks inside. 3-2. Well, I mentioned that we were expecting rain tonight, and the weatherman did not lie. Here comes the rain. And there go the fans for cover, and the ones who are staying to watch the game Here come the umbrellas. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Lead at second base by Lunsford. Jenks to the belt. Down to the plate, and Ellison swings and foul tips a high fastball into the glove of the catcher Nieves for strike 3. 2 down. Second strikeout for Jenks. And now for the second time tonight, Fresno will go to the top of its order for the second baseman, Brian Dallimore. Well, only in Utah can it be pouring one place, and then you look out several miles, and it's beautiful. Jenks comes home, and a curveball to Dallimore, taken for a strike on the inside corner. 0-1 the count. Mentioned Jenks only 83 innings last year. He was bothered by arm trouble. No balls and a strike. Dallimore swings, drives this one toward the gap in the right center field. And Gordon looks up. This ball's one hop to the wall. Lunsford scores. Dallimore hustling to second base. And he'll pull up with an RBI double. 4-0 Grizzlies. And Brian Dallimore, his first RBI this season. So 2 runs in the first, 2 here in the second. And that'll bring up the shortstop, Jamie Athis. Well, last night after 2 innings, Fresno was behind 5-0. Tonight they're up 4-0. And here's Athis, who singled and scored back in the first inning. As the rain continues to fall here in northern Utah. Jenks to Athis, and Jamie takes that's inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Bobby Jenks, 6'3", 240 pounds. 1 ball, no strike pitch. Athis swings a dribbler toward first foul. 1-1. But Jenks spent time in winter ball over the last 3 seasons. Arizona Fall League, also spent time in Puerto Rico. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jenks kicks and delivers, and a fastball up and away to Athis. 2-1 the count. But they're trying to work on a breaking pitch with Jenks, and there's no question about his fastball, which has been known to top out at around 100. 2 balls and a strike. Dallimore, a big lead at second, and Athis swings in a chopper to first right at Rob Quinlan, who comes in a couple of steps, grabs it, steps on the bag for the unassisted putout, but the Grizzlies get 2 more runs on 3 hits. They lead one, and after an inning and a half, 4-0 Fresno on KAAT 103.1. The one for Sean Boyd weather.
Hey, Grizzly fans, make sure you get the most complete Grizzlies coverage by subscribing daily to the Fresno Bee, and we'll cap it all for the cap. If you are a baseball fan, you won't want to miss the Bee's in-depth stories, columns, and box scores that appear every day in the Bee. In addition to the complete coverage of your hometown AAA team, you will also receive all the top local news, entertainment, and advertisements. Call today to subscribe to the Bee for 3 months. Mention this ad, and we will send you a free Fresno Grizzlies baseball cap. Call 411-6233 or 1-800-877-3400 to subscribe and receive your free Fresno Grizzlies baseball cap today.
Welcome to Hank's Kitchen, the cooking show for guys. Today's breakfast, leftover pizza. Step 1, open the fridge. Step 2, pull out the pizza box from last week. But try not to knock over that half-empty can of beer. You're going to need that later. Step 3, look at the pizza. Is it shrunken, dehydrated, and curled up like a witch's boot? If so, you might need to use the microwave. Now, sometimes the pizza is beyond resuscitation. To test it, tap it against a table. If it makes this noise, just go to Carl's Jr. instead for a low-carb breakfast bowl. There's eggs, cheese, sausage, ham, bacon, and it's all in a bowl. As for the pizza, have it later with that half-empty beer. Just pretend it's a really big cracker.
The low-carb breakfast bowl with only 5 grams of carbs. New at Carl's Jr. Without us, some guys would starve. Price and participation may vary.
Barry Weston to lead it off for the Salt Lake Stingers. We go to the bottom of the second, 4-0 Fresno. Grizzlies with 2 in the first, 2 in the second. Doug Greenwald with you from Franklin Covey Field here in downtown Salt Lake City. Barry Weston, Alex Polias, Wilbert Nieves to face Brian Cooper, and the right-hander to the plate. Weston swings, pops it up. Back of first, Damon Miner backpedaling, and on the dirt portion of the diamond, he makes the catch. One pitch, one out to Wesson, who had a brief stint with Anaheim last year, formerly with the Houston Astros system. That'll bring up the third baseman, Alex Polias. April 18th at 2:05, start against Salt Lake. It's going to be Magnetic Schedule Giveaway Day, sponsored by Frazee Paint for the first 10,000. Here is Polias, and he looks at a strike from Brian Cooper. 0-1 the count. It will also be Fresno Bee Family Day, Sunday afternoon baseball at downtown Grizzly Stadium. Polias, right-handed hitter, and Cooper from the first base side of the rubber delivers. Swing, a ground ball to third. Dallimore a step to his left, loves it, throws across the diamond, and Polias is the second out here in the bottom of the second. Fresno 4, Salt Lake nothing, and that will bring up the catcher, Wilbert Nieves. Second inning for him last night resulted in a home run that jump-started a 5-run Salt Lake frame. And Nieves comes in 1 for 3 last night with a walk and a pair of runs scored. Well, the rain has let up, but stay tuned. Give the weather 5 minutes in Utah, something else happens. And Brian Cooper out of the windup, and the right-hander's pitch. Fastball taken at the knees for a strike. 0-1. A lot of the new faces in Fresno didn't believe that the Grizzlies had a home rainout last year. It was against Salt Lake back on April 21st. 0-1 on the way. Big breaking ball, and Nieves well out in front of it. Swings and misses. 0-2 the count. On deck to the second base, or the left fielder, Gary Johnson. 0-2 on the way. High fastball. Nieves swings and misses. Strike 3. Side is retired. An easy 1-2-3 inning in the second for Cooper. After 2, 4-0 Fresno on 103.1. 1-1 for Big Band Weekend. Community Medical Centers is proud to give you all a place to bring your creaks, aches, pains, sprains, and groans. The new state-of-the-art Community Sports Center, conveniently located in North Fresno, offers 12,000 square feet dedicated to fitness training and the latest outpatient rehabilitation therapies. Ask your doctor about the place that every body needs, the Community Sports Center. In store for a hot, long summer in the Valley? Looking for somewhere that will quench your thirst? Then head to downtown Grizzly Stadium for every home Thursday game. It'll be Thirsty Thursday. Enjoy 12-ounce Miller products and 12-ounce Coca-Cola products for just $1. That's right, just $1 for every Thursday home game. Grizzlies baseball. There's nothing minor about it.
Hi, this is Sid Mark with more of the April sounds of Frank Sinatra, and the legend continues. This week, it's Frank Sinatra and Tommy Dorsey, April 1940. Then on to Dinah Shore, April 1947. Neil Hefti, Swingin' Grass, April 1962. All of these goodies and a bunch in between. This week's Sounds of Sinatra. My name is Sid Mark, and you're invited.
Each Sunday evening on KAAT following Grizzlies baseball.
4-0 Fresno out in front. We go to the top of the third inning tonight here in Salt Lake City. Doug Greenwald with you on 103.1. The One. 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Grizzlies. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for the Stingers. Grizzlies 2 in the first and 2 in the second. And Todd Linden will lead it off. He'll be followed by Damon Miner and Rob Stratton. 3-4-5 to face the right-hander Bobby Jenks. Todd grounded the shortstop back in the first inning. Lights on here at Franklin Covey Field. Ballpark built back in 1994 to accommodate the arrival of this franchise, which was moved from Portland. Now here is Linden. And Jenks out of the full windup. His pitch. Linden swings and misses at a fastball. 0-1 the count. Outfield deep and straight away for Linden, who has good power to all fields. Todd does have 1 Major League home run under his belt. Came at Dodger Stadium last year. 0-1 from Jenks. Fastball up and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. That was against Hideo Nomo, who did not have a very good opening outing. Phil Nevin taking him for a grand slam on opening day. Following a strike, Jenks delivers, takes something off of that one, and Todd taps one foul third base side. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Salt Lake will be in for 4, starting April 16th, including a Monday 12:05 series finale. A ball and 2 strikes the count. Jenks to the plate. Fastball is low to Linden. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Grizzlies will have a handful of afternoon games this year, in April and in May. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Out of the windup is Jenks. He comes home, and Linden a ground ball to second base, right at Specht, who hardly had to move for it. And he throws out Linden. 1 out. And that'll bring up the first baseman, Damon Minor. That Monday game I'm talking about, that involves Salt Lake. It'll be Monday Madness, presented by David's Sunflower Seeds. For just $12 per person, you get 2 field level seats, 2 hot dogs, 2 sodas, and 2 bags of David's Sunflower Seeds. Now here is Minor, a big swing and a foul ball right off his foot, his left foot. No balls, 1 strike. That sounds like a pretty good deal. Monday Madness, only $12. I might sit out in the seats and take advantage of all that. That first Monday game, 12:05, April 19th, against Salt Lake. No balls, 1 strike to count. Minor, a 2-run homer back in the first. Swings, gives this one a ride into center field, but this will stay in the ballpark for Weston, who moves over toward right center, and he makes the catch. And that is the second out here in the top of the 3rd inning. Fresno 4, Salt Lake nothing. And that'll bring up the designated hitter, Rob Stratton. Struck out swinging back in the first inning. 0 for 4 last night with 4 strikeouts, and off to a tough start tonight. As Jenks comes home and Stratton swings and misses a high fastball. 0-1 the count. Well, Stratton played left field last night. You'll see him in left, right, or in the DH slot. Jenks comes right back, and Stratton swings and misses again on the fastball in the outer half of the plate, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Jenks to the plate. Stratton swings and misses a high fastball. Strike 3. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, 3 outs. Nothing across for the Grizzlies in the 3rd, and after 2.5, it stays 4-0 Fresno on 103.1. The 1 for Sean Boyd weather.
Do you change your own oil and oil filter? If so, the city and county of Fresno would like to thank the do-it-yourselfer for recycling your used oil and filters. It's important to do the right thing. Did you know that oil never wears out? It only gets dirty. Used oil can be recycled over and over, helping to preserve our resources and environment. Dumping just 1 gallon of used motor oil in the drain or the ground contaminates up to 1 million gallons of water, and it's illegal. Do the right thing. Recycle your used motor oil and oil filters properly. It's easy. Just call 1-800-CLEAN-UP to locate the state-certified collection center near you. That's 1-800-CLEAN-UP. Sponsored by the City and County of Fresno, funded by a grant from the California Integrated Waste Management Board.
Grizzlies mini ticket plans are now on sale. You can choose from a 12-game plan, which includes opening night, 5 giveaway nights, fireworks, and special appearances by the Philly Fanatic, Raiderettes, and Berserk. Or choose the All-Star 18-game plan, which gives you your choice of the day or days of the week which suit you best. That's right. You get to choose your plan. Contact the Grizzlies front office at 559-442-1994. Grizzlies baseball. There's nothing minor about it.
Hi, this is Sid Mark with more of the April sounds of Frank Sinatra, and the legend continues. This week, it's Frank Sinatra and Tommy Dorsey, April 1940. Then on to Dinah Shore, April 1947. Neil Hefti, Swingin' Grass, April 1962. All of these goodies and a bunch in between. This week's Sounds of Sinatra. My name is Sid Mark, and you're invited.
Each Sunday evening on KAAT following Grizzlies baseball.
Fresno 4, Salt Lake nothing. On to the bottom of the 3rd tonight here from Utah. Doug Greenwald with you on KAT 103.1. The 1, Gary Johnson, Brian Specht, and on the top of the order for Alfredo Amezaga. Face the right-hander Brian Cooper, who kicks and delivers, and a fastball to Johnson lifted high and foul left side. No balls, 1 strike. Johnson, the designated hitter last night, came up with a big 2-run double in the 8th inning to really break the game open. Salt Lake an 8-4 win. Grizzlies were winners last year on opening night at home. In fact, Fresno won its first 3 games a season ago. But it won't be the case this year. The 0-1 from Cooper. Johnson swings, lifts one high in the air out of the shallow left. Shabala comes jogging in, and Adam is there to make the grab. 1 up, 1 down. Here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, 4-0 Fresno, and here is Brian Specht. Check out Subway's fantastic 7 Under 6 lineup. That's right, your greater Fresno area Subway restaurants have 7 sandwiches with 6 grams of fat or less, like the delicious honey mustard turkey with cucumber with just 4 grams of fat. Try one today. See your local Subway restaurant for tasty details. Subway, eat fresh. Cooper winds and delivers, and the first pitch to Specht, taken for a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Specht an RBI double in the first at-bat he ever had in AAA last night. The 0-1 on the way, swinging a high fly ball center field. Ellison on his horse, still drifting back toward the track, but in front of the dirt, makes the catch. 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Fresno 4, Salt Lake nothing. And now for the second time tonight, Salt Lake will go to the top of its order for the shortstop, Alfredo Amezaga. He flied to center field back in the first inning. Fresno 2 in the first, 2 in the second. Dallimore on the grass portion of the diamond at third base. Rest of the infield's back, and Cooper to the plate. Amezaga takes outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Still plenty of daylight here in northern Utah. 1 ball, no strikes. Cooper comes home, and Amezaga takes up and away. 2-0. Be interesting to see how many people are at the game tomorrow night. The Utah Jazz will be at home against the Houston Rockets. Wonder if I can get a pregame show tomorrow with Yao Ming. I'll try and do that. 2 balls, no strikes. Cooper comes home, and on a fastball taken at the letters for a strike. 2-1. But then Sunday we're at 2 o'clock local time, 1 o'clock first pitch Fresno time. 2 balls, 1 strike. Cooper out of the windup delivers, and Amezaga swings and misses at a fastball. 2-2 the count. Amezaga, native of Mexico. He's had a chance to play at the major league level. Had a call-up in 2002, and then 37 games last year with Anaheim. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cooper to the plate. Amezaga swats one in the air in the left, but Shabala will be there a couple of steps to his left. Makes the catch. And that ends the 3rd inning, so 3 flyouts. Do the Stingers in on the 3rd, and after 3 from Salt Lake, stays 4-0 Fresno on KAAT 103.1. The one for Big Band Weekend. Do you like great bargains? Enjoy online auctions? Check out B-Link, the Valley's largest local online auction. This is your chance to bid on hundreds of items from local retailers. First, log on to FresnoBee.com/B-Link. That's FresnoBee.com/BEELINK. And register anytime beginning April 12th for your chance to preview items up for bid. Check out the merchandise you're interested in at the store's location. Then, look for the product guide in your Fresno Bee starting Sunday, April 18th. But the real fun begins Tuesday, April 20th, when you start bidding. B-Link, the Fresno Bee's online auction. Bid online and save.
Welcome to Hank's Kitchen, the cooking show for guys. Today's breakfast, leftover pizza. Step 1, open the fridge. Step 2, pull out the pizza box from last week. But try not to knock over that half-empty can of beer. You're going to need that later. Step 3, look at the pizza. Is it shrunken, dehydrated, and curled up like a witch's boot? If so, you might need to use the microwave. Now, sometimes the pizza is beyond resuscitation. To test it, tap it against a table. If it makes this noise, just go to Carl's Jr. instead for a low-carb breakfast bowl. There's eggs, cheese, sausage, ham, bacon, and it's all in a bowl. As for the pizza, have it later with that half-empty beer. Just pretend it's a really big cracker.
The low-carb breakfast bowl with only 5 grams of carbs. New at Carl's Jr. Without us, some guys would starve. Price and participation may vary.
Fresno 4, Salt Lake nothing. We go to the top of the fourth. Doug Greenwald with you on KAAT 103.1. The one. Davey Cruz, Adam Shabala, Trey Lunsford, 6-7-8. Face the right-hander Bobby Jenks, who was out of the full lineup in his pitch to Davey Cruz. This is low outside, a ball, no strikes. 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors for Fresno. No runs, a hit, no errors for Salt Lake. Outfield medium depth and straight away for Cruz. Hits from the right side. Bends at the knees. And the pitch, fastball low. 2 balls, no strikes. Again, you can join us online tonight, broadcastmonsters.com. Jenks out of the full lineup in the right-hander's pitch. Swing and a drive in the left field, and that will fall in front of Johnson for Davey Cruz. Second hit tonight. Well, he led off the second inning with a single. That led to 2 runs, and we'll see what happens here in the fourth with a leadoff hit. That'll bring up the left fielder, Adam Shabala. And once you're online with us, feel free to chime in. We are online at grizzradio@aol.com. GRIZZ, grizzradio@aol.com. You can ask us questions about the Grizzlies or baseball in general. So feel free to join us. Sarah Shabala, he walked back in the second inning, left-handed hitter. Jenks to the plate, and Adam takes low inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Shabala out of the University of Nebraska, grew up in the Chicago area. And spent last year at AA Norwich, where he hit .267 with 9 home runs. Outfield medium depth and straight away with Cruz at first. Jenks to the plate, and Shabala swings and misses at a cutter down and in. 1-1 the count. Adam, a guy that can play all 3 outfield positions. I had a chance to see his first ever AA game at Shreveport 3 years ago, and quite a AA debut for him. A grand slam. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cruz from first, and Shabala swings, chops one over the mound towards second, grabbed by Speck to his right, steps on second for 1, on the first for 2. Double play. Second straight game in which Shabala has grounded into a double play. That'll bring up the catcher, Trey Lunsford. Ball was perfectly hit for the infield. Right over the mound. Speck, the second baseman, had to move to his right anyway and was on the bag to grab the ball. That forced Cruz, and then threw to first to get Shabala. So 2 out, nobody on, and here's Trey Lunsford, and he looks outside for a ball. 1-0 the count. Trey, an RBI single and a run scored in that second inning. 4-0 Grizzlies. Visitors half of the fourth, and Jenks to the plate. Breaking ball, dips in nicely at the knees for a strike. 1-1 the count. And the center fielder, Jason Ellison, waiting on deck. Jenks, imposing figure out there with that 6'5" frame of his. And who knows where he will be in a matter of time in the Anaheim system. Swinging a foul on the backstop by Lunsford. 1-2. You look at the outstanding pitching they have at the big league level with Lackey and Washburn and Ramon Ortiz, and now the additions of Kelvin Escobar and Bartolo Colon. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Jenks comes home, and Lunsford takes at the knees. Strike 3 called. And that ends the top of the fourth. 4 strikeouts for Jenks. No runs a hit. No one left after 3.5 for Utah. It remains Fresno 4, Salt Lake nothing on KAAT 103.1. The one for the sounds of Sinatra. Folks, the Grizzlies have fun waiting for you at the ballpark this season. Every Monday home game, it's Monday Madness presented by David Sunflower Seeds. For just $12, you get 2 field-level seeds, 2 hot dogs, 2 sodas, and 2 bags of David Sunflower Seeds. Offer excludes July 5th. For more information, call the Grizzlies at 559-442-1994. See you at the ballpark.
So last week, Jimmy got his hair colored.
Hair coloring? Jimmy? Isn't that a little,
expensive?
That's what I thought. But Jimmy says Supercuts colors hair now, so it's completely affordable. Well, I was leaning more towards, isn't that kind of like,
risky?
That's what I thought. But Jimmy says Supercuts stylists are trained in hair coloring, so they're not going to mess it up.
Well, that's great information, but I mean, isn't coloring your hair considered somewhat like
permanent? That's what I thought. But Jimmy says Supercuts can do it so it'll last till it grows out,
or till it gradually fades out. And he says the ladies love it.
Oh, the telescope. Ladies love it?
That's what Jimmy says.
Hey, didn't we pass the Supercut factory a little ways?
I think so.
Hair coloring is Supercut. You know how it is. Supercolor available at select locations.
Time for a change? Try Supercut's new service, Supercolor. Whether it's highlights, tips, or an all-out glazing, Supercolor is a quick, affordable way for both men and women to show their true colors. Call your local Supercuts to see if Supercolor has arrived.
All right. Brian Gordon leads off for Salt Lake as we go to the bottom of the fourth. Fresno 4, Salt Lake nothing. Doug Greenwald with you on 103.1. The One. It'll be Gordon, Quinlan, and Riggs, 2, 3, 4 to face the right-hander Brian Cooper. Brian Gordon ground to the second base back in the first inning. Left-handed hitter, and Cooper to the plate. Gordon takes a fastball, strike one called on the outside corner, 0-1. Alomar even with the bag at third, but well off the line. Outfield shallow and straight away, and Cooper comes home. Gordon fists one down to the backstop. No balls, 2 strikes. Looking for a fun place to hang out and enjoy cheap drinks? Then come to downtown Grizzlies Stadium for Thirsty Thursday. All 12-ounce Miller & Coke products for only $1. No balls, 2 strikes, and a high fastball. Gordon swings and misses. Strike 3. 1 out, third strikeout for Cooper. And that'll bring up the first baseman, Rob Quinlan. Well, that sounds like a pretty good deal. Every Thursday home game for the Grizzlies, just $1 for all 12-ounce Miller & Coke products. Here's Quinlan. He singled to center back in the first, and he looks at a strike on the inside corner. 0-1 the count. 6 hits for the Grizzlies, 1 for the Stingers, and that one belongs to the man at the plate. Cooper comes to the plate, and Quinlan takes low inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cooper, in his last start, allowed just 1 hit through 6 innings against Oakland. That was the final exhibition game on Sunday at the SBC Park. Curveball to Quinlan. He swings and misses 1 and 2. And a no-hitter going until the 6th inning. 1 and 2 the count with Wesson on, or with Riggs on deck. Cooper comes right back, and Quinlan swings, drives one in the air to center field, but that will hang up for Ellison, who drifts back several steps to grab it. 2 down. Quinlan now 1 for 2 tonight. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Adam Riggs. He struck out swinging to end the first inning, with Wesson waiting on deck. I mentioned the rain has let up. It was pouring. I don't say pouring, but it was raining somewhat heavily back in the second inning. Here's Riggs who swings, pops this one up out of the shallow right. Linden comes in a few steps, and he is there to make a 2-handed catch. And Brian Cooper sets down Salt Lake 1, 2, 3 in the fourth. On to the 5th. Fresno 4, Salt Lake nothing on KAAT 103.1. The One for Yosemite High football.
Get ready for another test. Yeah, we know you've had enough tests to last a lifetime, but this one's actually kind of fun. It's the Miller Taste Challenge. Just order a Miller Lite and a Bud Light. Then see them, smell them, and taste them. First, take a look at the color. Miller Lite has a rich golden hue. Now for smell. Don't worry, you don't have to swirl it around like some kind of wine snob. Just take a whiff. You're looking for a nice malty aroma. Finally, the most important part, take a sip. We don't need to tell you what to look for when it comes to tasting a beer. It ought to taste great, crisp, and never watered down. In other words, Miller Lite. And Miller Lite's got half the carbs of Bud Light and fewer calories. So that's it, the whole test. We think you'll prefer great-tasting, less-filling Miller Lite. But don't take our word for it. Try the test and see for yourself. Because at Miller, we believe there's good enough and there's better than it has to be. Miller. Good call. Miller Lite contains 3.2 grams of carbs and 96 calories per 12 ounces. Bud Light contains 6.6 grams and 110 calories. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Looking for a great place to celebrate your birthday or teen party? The Wildwood Pool and Spa at Grizzly Stadium is the place to be. Also great for bachelor parties, businesses, and family functions. The Wildwood Pool and Spa can accommodate any group from 25 to 50 people in size. Your pool admission includes a catered poolside meal, a unique way to watch Grizzlies take on the competition. For all the great price of just $30 per person. Summer dates are filling fast, so cool off in the Fresno heat by calling 442-1994 to secure a spot by the pool today.
A 4-0 Fresno lead as we head to the top of the fifth inning. Tonight in Salt Lake City, Doug Greenwald with you on KAT 103.1. The One. 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Fresno. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for Salt Lake. Jason Ellison. And then the top of the order for Brian Dallimore and Jamie Athis. 9, 1, and 2 to face the right-hander Bobby Jenks, who allowed 2 runs in the first and 2 in the second. Since then has settled down, and Ellison has started off. He struck out swinging back in the second inning. Right-handed batter, and Jenks' first pitch is ripped foul down the right field line. No balls, 1 strike. Grizzlies will leave after the ball game on Sunday. They have a night flight from here to San Diego, and then we'll bus about 3 hours through the California desert to Yuma. The 0-1 pitch, fastball from James taken for a strike on the outside corner, 0-2. Where we will play at Desert Sun Stadium, which was the spring training home of the Padres for about 25 years. 0-2 on the way, breaking ball, and Ellison swings and misses. Pitch in the dirt for strike 3. Second time Ellison has struck out. 5 strikeouts now for Jenks, and for the third time tonight, Fresno was on the top of its order for the third baseman, Brian Dallimore. An RBI double for him back in the second inning. Right-handed batter, and Jenks comes home. Dallimore bunts this one in the air, third base side, and that will go foul near the on-deck circle, right in front of the Grizzlies dugout. No balls, 1 strike. And the Grizzlies will bus home from Yuma. It's about an 8-hour trip. Those of you unfamiliar with Yuma, it's right on the California, Arizona, Mexico border. 0-1 on the way. Breaking ball taken for a strike at the letters. Jenks took something off of that one. No balls, 2 strikes. Jamie Athis wetting on deck. And Jenks trying to finish off Dallimore here, the 0-2, and Brian goes around at a slider in the dirt, strike 3, and he is out. Back-to-back strikeouts for Jenks to start the fifth inning. 6 strikeouts now for him, and that'll bring up the shortstop, Jamie Athis. Once again, opening night. Get your tickets now, still available, by calling the Grizzlies box office, 559-442-1994. Post-game fireworks sponsored by Napa Auto Parts. And here is Athis, a single to left and a run scored back in the first inning. Left-handed hitter. Bobby Jenks kicks and delivers. Athis, a ground ball past the mound to the shortstop of Meziga to his left. Up with it and throws out Athis. And the Grizzlies, for the second time tonight, go in order. We're halfway through this one from Salt Lake. Fresno 4, Salt Lake nothing on KAT 103.1. The One for Big Band Weekend.
Hey, Grizzly fans, make sure you get the most complete Grizzlies coverage by subscribing daily to the Fresno Bee, and we'll cap it off with a cap. If you are a baseball fan, you won't want to miss the Bee's in-depth stories, columns, and box scores that appear every day in the Bee. In addition to the complete coverage of your hometown AAA team, you will also receive all the top local news, entertainment, and advertisements. Call today to subscribe to the Bee for 3 months. Mention this ad, and we will send you a free Fresno Grizzlies baseball cap. Call 411-6233 or 1-800-877-3400 to subscribe and receive your free Fresno Grizzlies baseball cap today.
Baseball season is here, and it's time to book your picnic in the Miller Pavilion at Grizzly Stadium. Watch your Fresno Grizzlies battle the competition in the best stadium in minor league baseball. The Miller Pavilion provides a great environment for your company or church picnic, and your admission includes your seat and a fully catered meal. Prices start as low as $21.50, and availability is limited. So call 442-1994 to speak with a Grizzlies representative today to book your event.
What's my Subway salad? Well, it's hard for a farmer man to choose. Yes, my goat friend, the new Atkins-friendly grilled chicken and baby spinach is my favorite, with grilled chicken strips and tasty toppers on a bed of 100% baby spinach. It's Atkins-friendly. So's the classic club salad made fresh under my sniffer. Too bad Atkins ain't for ghosts. Watch your language. My Subway salad, any of the new Subway fresh salads. It's what I eat when I want to eat fresh. Subway, eat fresh.
Halfway through this ball game tonight from Salt Lake City, Utah. Fresno 4, Salt Lake nothing. And Barry Weston to lead it off. 5, 6, and 7 for the Stingers here in the fifth inning to face right-hander Brian Cooper. Weston popped out to a first base back in the second inning, and he swings and hits this one in the air to the right side, but the right fielder Linden comes in for this one, and he makes the catch. One pitch, one out here in the bottom of the fifth. Weston now 0 for 2, and that will bring up the third baseman, Alex Polias. Hey, Grizzlies fans, have you heard? Your neighborhood Subway restaurants have delicious salads, like the new Atkins-friendly grilled chicken and baby spinach, or the classic club salad. And Subway salads are made fresh right in front of you. Subway, eat fresh. Here is Polias, and he takes low inside. 1 ball, no strikes. 4, 6, and 0 for the Grizzlies. No runs to hit, no errors for Salt Lake. Polias grounded to third back in the second inning, and he swings lifts this one in the air in the right center field. Linden or Ellison, and it's going to be Todd Linden, the right fielder, who runs this one down. 2 up, 2 down, whole half of the fifth. Polias retired for the second time tonight, and that'll bring up the catcher, Wilbert Nieves. He struck out swinging back in the second inning. Cooper, 3 strikeouts tonight. Jenks for Salt Lake has fanned 6 Grizzlies. And now Nieves, who grips the bat right on the end. Cooper comes home, and Nieves takes strike 1 on the outside corner, 0-1. Talked about Cooper, who was a member of the Salt Lake Ball Club in 2001. Had 12 wins that year, which tied a franchise record. The 0-1 on the way, and that goes to the backstop. A pitch down and outside, 1-1. The only other Salt Lake player to have 12 wins in a season since the franchise resumed at the AAA level in '94. A man you wouldn't think. Eddie Guardado. 1-1 on the way, slinging a foul ball right side. 1 ball, 1 strike. Or let me correct, 1 and 2 they count. Guardado was a starting pitcher at that time, back in '94. So he and Cooper, the only 2 Salt Lake PCL members to have 12 wins. Breaking ball on the A's, grounded back at third. Dallimore up with it, long throw in the dirt, gets past Damon Miner, goes down toward the Salt Lake right field bullpen, where the catcher Trey Lunsford has to track it down, and Nieves goes all the way to second. Dallimore had a long throw to make, but Nieves not the fastest of runners, and a good throw likely gets him, and that throw landed in the dirt and got past Miner. Charged Brian Dallimore with an error. Just the second Salt Lake batter to reach tonight. Quinlan was the other one back in the first with a single. But Fresno holding on to a 4-0 lead in the home half of the fifth, and that'll extend the inning for the left fielder, Gary Johnson. Cooper was also the winning pitcher for the franchise's 600th win back in July of 2001 at Omaha. So he is a big part of Salt Lake professional baseball history. Here's Johnson. He flied to left field back in the third inning. Left-handed batter. Nieves the runner at second base, and Cooper to the plate. Fastball misses outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Tomorrow night we'll see Kevin Correa. And they call Yo-Yo. 1-0 on the way. Johnson swings, grounds one up the middle, past the diving second baseman Cruz, on in the center, a base hit. Rounding third is Nieves, and he will score Salt Lake's first run tonight. An RBI hit for Johnson, 4-1 now in favor of Fresno. Gary Johnson, 3 RBIs through his first game and a half in 2004. So the 2-out error comes back to hurt Cooper and the Grizzlies. That'll bring up the second baseman, Brian Specht. Talking about Correa, they call him Yo-Yo because all of last year he was going up and down between Fresno and San Francisco, or at least to the second half of the season. Here is Specht, and he looks at a high fastball. 1 ball, no strikes. Correa spent most of the entire first half of the year at Double-A Norwich, then was called to Fresno for about 3 days. Didn't even pitch, and then was told to go to the big leagues. 1 ball, no strikes. Swing, ground ball, right field, base hit for Specht. Johnson will take a turn at second, but stops there. Lemon up with the ball quickly. And the Stingers with a 2-out rally. 3 hits now for Salt Lake. And for the third time tonight, Salt Lake will go to the top of its order for the shortstop, Alfredo Amezaga. There's been no action in either bullpen tonight. And Cooper in trouble really for the first time. And Amezaga represents the tying run. Fly to center in the first, fly to left in the third. On the bottom of the order doing damage here. Nieves reaching on the air, and then Johnson and Specht coming through with singles. Well, here is Cooper to Amezaga, and Alfredo looks at a fastball for a strike on the outside corner. No balls, 1 strike. Brian Gordon, the right fielder, waiting on deck. Outfield shallow and around toward left as Cooper is set. He comes home in the pitch. Amezaga, big swing and a foul ball over the roof here at Franklin Covey Field. No balls, 2 strikes. Franklin Covey is the stationary company. Ballpark used to be known as Franklin Quest Field. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Fresno 4, Salt Lake 1. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Cooper to the plate. Amezaga chases a high fastball well out of the strike zone, and he is out. But the Stingers get a run. 2 hits, an error, 2 left. We head to the 6th. Fresno 4, Salt Lake 1 on KAAT 103.1. The 1 for the Sounds of Sinatra.
The Fresno Grizzlies have a full lineup in store for you opening weekend. On Saturday, 7:05, it'll be Jerome Williams bobblehead night for the first 2,500 fans, sponsored by Mervyn's. The weekend is capped on Sunday, a 2:05 matinee. The first 10,000 fans will receive Crazy Paint Fresno Grizzlies magnetic schedules. Tickets are still on sale for all 3 games. Call the Grizzlies front office at 559-442-1994. Grizzlies baseball, there is nothing minor about it.
Welcome to Hank's Kitchen, the cooking show for guys. Today's breakfast, leftover pizza. Step 1, open the fridge. Step 2, pull out the pizza box from last week. But try not to knock over that half-empty can of beer. You're going to need that later. Step 3, look at the pizza. Is it shrunken, dehydrated, and curled up like a witch's boot? If so, you might need to use the microwave. Now, sometimes the pizza is beyond resuscitation. To test it, tap it against a table. If it makes this noise, just go to Carl's Jr. instead for a low-carb breakfast bowl. There's eggs, cheese, sausage, ham, bacon, and it's all in a bowl. As for the pizza, have it later with that half-empty beer. Just pretend it's a really big cracker.
The low-carb breakfast bowl with only 5 grams of carbs. New at Carl's Jr. Without us, some guys would starve. Price and participation may vary.
Todd Linden starts it off here on the top of the 6th. Fresno 4, Salt Lake 1. Doug Greenwald with you on KAAT 103.1. The 1. 4 runs, 6 hits. An error for the Grizzlies. A run, 3 hits, no errors for the Stingers. Linden, Miner, and Stratton 3-4-5 to face the right-hander Bobby Jenks. And for the most part, both pitchers, Brian Cooper and Bobby Jenks, have pitched well here tonight. On this chilly evening for baseball here in northern Utah, it was 51 degrees at game time. Jenks to Linden, he swings and chops one to second base. Right into the glove of Specht on a couple of hops, and he throws the first. Linden is retired for the 3rd time tonight. That'll bring up the first baseman, Damon Miner. He started the scoring this evening with a 2-run homer to straightaway center field. The first Grizzly homer of 2004. Jenks out of the full lineup, and he comes home, and Miner takes up and away. And the count is at 1 ball and no strikes. Trying to see Damon Miner back in Fresno. So he swings and misses at a curve. 1 ball, 1 strike. Damon grew up in Oklahoma. Played his college baseball for the Sooners. Now lives in Edmond, Oklahoma, where he just built a house. The 1-1 pitch, fastball, and that is outside. 2-1 the count. But Damon last year, 24 home runs between Fresno and Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Jenks 2-1 on the way, and Miner swings on a foul to the backstop. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Last season, Miner hit 3 home runs in 1 game for the Grizzlies. That was in May in New Orleans. Jenks 2-2 on the way, and Miner swings and hits 1 foul left side. Count holds it 2-2. And then was traded the next day to the Phillies. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. The infield shifts well around to the right. And Jenks 2-2 on the way, and Miner chases a curve in the dirt, and he is out on strikes. 7 strikeouts now for Jenks, and that'll bring up the designated hitter, Rob Stratton. Trust the Fresno Bee for complete coverage of the Grizzlies, top local news, entertainment, and advertisements. Call 559-441-6233 to subscribe, or 1-800-877-3400. The Fresno Bee. Fresno 4, Salt Lake 1, and here's Stratton, who is 0 for 2 tonight. He has struck out twice. Jenks to the plate, and Stratton swings late at a fastball and misses. 0-1 the count. Again, feel free to join us online, grizzradio@AOL.com. 0-1 on the way, fastball outside, 1-1. GRIZZ, grizzradio@AOL.com. You can email us or instant message us. We'd love to hear from you. Following a strike to count, Jenks out of the full lineup. He delivers, and Stratton swings again and misses at a fastball, down and in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Davey Cruz, the second baseman, waiting on deck. Stratton wide open stance from the right side, holds the bat right on the end, the 1-2, and he takes high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Stratton talking about how lucky he was to grow up right in Santa Barbara. Absolutely gorgeous setting right along the coast. He played baseball year-round. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and he takes strike 3, call the breaking ball at the knees, and he is out on strikes. 8 strikeouts for Jenks. Back-to-back perfect innings for him. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Stays 4-1 Fresno on KAAT 103.1. The one for Big Band Weekend. Community Medical Centers is proud to give you all a place to bring your creaks, aches, pains, sprains, and groans. The new state-of-the-art Community Sports Center, conveniently located in North Fresno, offers 12,000 square feet dedicated to fitness training and the latest outpatient rehabilitation therapies. Ask your doctor about the place that every body needs, the Community Sports Center. Who let the dogs out? The Fresno Grizzlies will on Tuesday night, April 20th. It'll be 50-cent hot dog night at downtown Grizzly Stadium, sponsored by Evergood Fine Foods. The game will start at 7:05 against the Edmonton Trappers. While we can't promise a hot night at the park, we can promise a hot dog at a time. Grizzlies baseball, there's nothing minor about it. Do you like great bargains? Enjoy online auctions? Check out B-Link, the Valley's largest local online auction. This is your chance to bid on hundreds of items from local retailers. First, log on to FresnoBee.com/B-Link. That's FresnoBee.com/BEELINK. And register anytime beginning April 12th for your chance to preview items up for bid. Check out the merchandise you're interested in at the store's location. Then, look for the product guide in your Fresno Bee starting Sunday, April 18th. But the real fun begins Tuesday, April 20th, when you start bidding. B-Link, the Fresno Bee's online auction. Bid online and save.
Super Wednesday. Leading on for your
Fresno 4, Salt Lake 1. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Doug Greenwald with you on KAAT 103.1. The one. 4 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for Fresno. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors for Salt Lake. Stingers coming up with a run in the bottom of the 5th inning. And now Brian Gordon to start the bottom half of the 6th, facing Brian Cooper, whose first pitch to Gordon is a curve, swung on and missed, 0-1. April 20th, 7:05 start against Edmonton. It'll be 50-cent hot dog night, sponsored by Evergood Fine Foods. That'll be at Grizzlies Stadium. The 0-1 on the way. Gordon swings on a high pop-up out in the right field. Linden looking up into that high Utah sky, and Todd is there to make the catch. 1 up, 1 down, and here is the first baseman, Rob Quinlan. Wonder if the broadcaster can get 50-cent hot dogs that night. It sounds awfully good. 7:05 start on April 20th. Here's Quinlan. Single to center field back in the 1st inning. Also fly to center. And Cooper's pitch. Rob Quinlan takes a breaking ball for a strike on the inside corner. 0-1. Quinlan's brother Tom played here in Salt Lake when he was in the Twins organization. Cooper's 0-1, and Quinlan looks up and away. 1-1. Tom Quinlan played in the big leagues with both the Twins and Blue Jays. And Rob grew up in the Minneapolis area. Ball and a strike, and he swings and misses at a curve. 1-2 the count. Played hockey in high school. But opted for the sport with the other sticks. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and he takes low outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and looked like it turned out to be a pretty good move. One of the real classy guys in this league, Rob Quinlan. Always fun to catch up with him. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cooper from the first base side of the rubber delivers, and Quinlan chases a ball in the dirt, strike 3, and he is out. 2 away, 5th strikeout for Cooper. And that'll bring up the designated hitter, Adam Riggs. He is 0 for 2. He has struck out swinging, and he has flied to right field. And Cooper's first pitch to Riggs, swinging a drive toward left center field. Pretty well hit. Shabala on the run, so is Ellison. Jason dives. He can't get it. Shabala, the left fielder, backs him up on the warning track, but not before Adam Riggs has his first hit of 2004. Now Riggs split the gap right there. Good effort by Ellison, and also good hustle by the left fielder Shabala to back him up. Riggs at second base with 2 out. Stingers had a 2-out rally last inning. We'll see what happens here with Wesson, who is 0 for 2 as he has popped to first and is flying to right. Nobody warming up in either bullpen right now. And both pitchers on a 75 pitch limit early in the year. A big lead at second by Riggs, and Cooper to Wesson, and Barry takes. That's outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Mentioned Wesson, formerly in the Astros organization, where he played his Double-A ball at Round Rock, which will be coming into the PCL next year. 1-0 on the way to Wesson is low. 2 balls, no strikes. Round Rock Express, owned by the Nolan Ryan family. And I had a chance to visit Round Rock when I was in the Texas League. And that is one big Texas party every night. A lot of fun down there. The 2-0 to Wesson, swinging a fly ball to right. Linden backing up on it. Will be there in front of the track to put it away. And the side is retired. No runs, a hit. A man left. We head to the 7th here in Salt Lake. 4-1 Fresno on KAAT 103.1. The 1.
So I go to hang out with my friend Jen the other day, and I get stuck in the lobby of her apartment building because Jen's line is busy and I have no one to buzz me in. So there I am between the 2 glass doors, and I notice, for the first time ever, that there are 2 stacks of Yellow Page directories. Right there in front of the mailboxes is a stack of Yellow Book Yellow Pages and a stack of that other book by the phone company. Yuck! Who wants anything from the phone company? So I started thinking, why are there 2 stacks of Yellow Pages? First I called my friend Kathy and I said, did you know there were 2 kinds of Yellow Pages? And Kathy goes, no, but did you ever see Yellow Book's menus? They've got a ton of restaurants in there. And then I called my mom and I said, did you know there were 2 kinds of Yellow Pages? And my mom goes, no, Candace, but I know Yellow Book has all the businesses I need to redo my home. So I'm thinking, if everyone's so into Yellow Book, how come there are 2 stacks of Yellow Pages? I mean, who needs that other book anyway? Not me.
Smart business owners advertise in Yellow Book, not that other book. Call 1-800-YB-YELLOW.
In store for a hot, long summer in the Valley? Looking for somewhere that will quench your thirst? Then head to downtown Grizzlies Stadium for every home Thursday game. It'll be Thirsty Thursday. Enjoy 12-ounce Miller products and 12-ounce Coca-Cola products for just $1. That's right, just $1 for every Thursday home game. Grizzlies baseball. There's nothing minor about it. We head to the top of the 7th inning in Salt Lake City, a 4-1 lead for Fresno. Doug Greenwald with you on KAAT 103.1. The One. New at Carl's Jr., the low-carb breakfast bowl with eggs, cheese, bacon, sausage, ham, and only 5 grams of carbs. Now only at Carl's Jr. Without us, some guys would starve. Available at participating locations. Sounds pretty good, actually. Here's Davy Cruz. He's 2 for 2 tonight. A pair of singles and a run scored. 4-1 Grizzlies. Top of the 7th. And Davy swings and a chopper to short. Amaziga a couple steps to his right. Throws across his body to get Cruz. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the visitors' half of the 7th inning. Jenks still out there for the Stingers. And now action for the first time in the Salt Lake bullpen. Looks like left-hander Dusty Bergman warming up. Now here is Shabala, who is 0 for 1 tonight. He is walked and grounded into a double play. And Jenks out of the full windup comes home, and Shabala looks at a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. I was talking earlier about Shabala's first ever double-A game, which I called a few years ago. The 0-1 pitch, Adams swings and grounds one slowly toward first. Quinlan off the bag to field it, and Jenks covering in time. 2 out. Good play by Quinlan. One of those that sit in a no man's land, but Jenks knows only to cover first base, and he did in time. And that'll bring up the catcher, Trey Lunsford. That game Shabala had, his first ever double-A ball game, was in San Antonio while he was playing for Shreveport. The Shreveport team was down by about 7 runs going to the 8th inning, and Shabala hit a grand slam to cap a 10-run inning. Well, here is Lunsford, and he takes low outside, 1-0, only to have Shreveport blow it in the bottom of the 9th. Allow San Antonio to tie it, and eventually lost it, did Shreveport in the 10th. Wasted a great effort by Shabala. The 1-0 to Lunsford is low. 2 balls, no strikes. Trey an RBI single back in the 2nd. And Jenks working quickly on this 50-degree evening. 2 balls, no strikes, and Lunsford swings and grounds one foul. Third base side, 2-1. I think it's being a little generous. According to the website where I look at the weather, it says 50 degrees. But that might be dated from last July, because it feels a lot colder than 50 degrees right now. 2 balls and a strike. Trey swings and loops one down the right field line toward the bullpen, occupied by Salt Lake foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lunsford grew up in San Angelo, Texas. We were talking earlier when Barry Wesson was at the plate for Salt Lake about Round Rock, which will be entering the PCL next year. They still have the Double-A team in the Texas League. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and Trey takes, and that is low. 3-2. So the Double-A team is moving from Round Rock to Corpus Christi, still owned by the Ryan family, but the Corpus Christi franchise will be known as the Hooks. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Jenks delivers, curveball, strike 3, called with the letters good. Pitch by Jenks, throws Lunsford. And that makes now 3 straight perfect innings for Bobby Jenks. Stretch time here in Salt Lake. It remains Fresno 4, Salt Lake 1 on KAAT 103.1, The One.
Hey, Grizzly fans, make sure you get the most complete Grizzlies coverage by subscribing daily to the Fresno Bee, and we'll cap it off with a cap. If you are a baseball fan, you won't want to miss the Bee's in-depth stories, columns, and box scores that appear every day in the Bee. In addition to the complete coverage of your hometown AAA team, you will also receive all the top local news, entertainment, and advertisements. Call today to subscribe to the Bee for 3 months. Mention this ad, and we will send you a free Fresno Grizzlies Grizzlies baseball cap. Call 411-6233 or 1-800-877-3400 to subscribe and receive your free Fresno Grizzlies baseball cap today.
Grizzlies mini ticket plans are now on sale. You can choose from a 12-game plan, which includes opening night, 5 giveaway nights, fireworks, and special appearances by the Philly Fanatic, Raiderettes, and Berserk. Or choose the All-Star 18-game plan, which gives you your choice of the day or days of the week which suit you best. That's right. You get to choose your plan. Contact the Grizzlies front office at 559-442-1994. Grizzlies baseball. There's nothing minor about it.
What's my Subway salad? Well, it's hard for a farmer man to choose. Yes, my goat friend, the new Atkins Friendly Grilled Chicken and Baby Spinach is my favorite, with grilled chicken strips and tasty toppers all on a bed of 100% baby spinach. It's Atkins Friendly. So's the classic club salad made fresh under my sniffer. Too bad Atkins ain't for goats. Watch your language. My Subway salad, any of the new Subway fresh salads. It's what I eat when I want to eat fresh. Subway, eat fresh.
Seventh inning stretch time here in Salt Lake City. 4-1 in favor of the Fresno Grizzlies. Doug Greenwald with you on KAT 103.1. The One. And Alex Polias to lead it off. Facing the right-hander Brian Cooper. Polias, Nieves, and Johnson 6-7-8. To face the right-hander who comes home, and a breaking ball is low. 1 ball, no strikes. Elias is grounded to third, and he is flied to right. Action for the first time for Fresno now in the bullpen. The 1-0 on the way. Fastball, strike one called on the inside corner, 1-1. Looks like San Francisco native right-hander Tyler Walker warming up. Ball and a strike to count. And Cooper comes right back. Breaking ball fouled at the plate by Polias. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Outfield not terribly deep for Alex, who had a brief big league career with the Padres. 1-2 on the way, and he takes up and in. And the count is now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Special hello to Todd Linden's grandparents listening tonight online. I know Todd was very excited when I told him we would be back online this year. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cooper delivers fastball, strike 3 called on the outside corner. And Polias is the first down here in the bottom of the 7th. 6 strikeouts now for Cooper. Between Brian and Bobby Jenks, 15 strikeouts tonight. And here is Nieves, who is 0 for 2. He has struck out swinging and has reached on an error. Scored the only run tonight for Salt Lake. And Cooper out on the windup comes home, and a breaking ball lifted high in the air in a straightaway center. Ellison drifts back a few steps underneath it, and he makes a one-handed catch. 2 out. And here is the left fielder, Gary Johnson.
Gary Johnson.
Well, baseball's hottest team this year, the Detroit Tigers, will not win tonight because they are not playing tonight. The Giants also have tonight off. Giants and Padres, who played a exciting game last night, which was won by San Diego in 10 innings. How do you not have Friday baseball? Johnson an RBI single back in the 5th, and he takes a fastball low and away. 1 ball, no strikes. But how about the Tigers? 4-0 this year. First 4-0 start since 1985. 1 ball, no strikes to count. Out of the windup is Cooper. He delivers, and Johnson a foul to the backstop. And the count is at 1 ball and 1 strike. I was watching television today in my hotel room and saw Tiger highlights and a big inning. I'm thinking, wow, they're at it again. And then someone said that on the channel I was watching that they were recapping yesterday's game. 1 ball, 1 strike to count with 2 out. Specht on deck. Tomorrow, same time, 5:15 Fresno time for the pregame. Ball and a strike to count with 2 out. Outfield around to the left, and now Lunsford and Cooper, who caught each other a
or pitch to each other, if you will, in spring training. We'll go out and have a word. The Tigers are the first team since the 1952 St. Louis Browns to finish with the league's worst record and then start the following season 4-0. And then 2 years later, the Browns are off for Baltimore. 1-1 on the way, swinging a ground ball past the first baseman, Damon Minor, and onto the right field for Gary Johnson's second hit. And that'll bring up the second baseman, Brian Specht. The 1952 St. Louis Browns club was managed by Rogers Hornsby. And then later, Marty Marion, who was an outstanding player for many years with the St. Louis Cardinals, as was Rogers Hornsby, who was in the Hall of Fame. Both managed that club that finished 7th in 1952. Now here is Specht, who swings and swats one foul left side. No balls, one strike. A 4-1 lead for Fresno. Bottom of the 7th. Marion played 13 big league seasons, mostly with the Cardinals as a shortstop. Fastball to Specht is low inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. But the Tigers do have some good players this year. 1-1 on the way, and Specht takes low. 2-1. You look at Pudge Rodriguez and Fernando Vina, Rondell White. So they have a few new faces that have come from winning teams. They're trying to erase all the losing that's gone on there the last few seasons. Cooper's 2-1 on the way. Slide step delivery. Swing a broken bat. Line drive. Center field. Base hit. Down to second. Stopping there is Johnson. And Specht, his second hit tonight. And this will get the tying run to the plate. Keep in mind, Tyler Walker continuing to warm for the Fresno Grizzlies in the left field bullpen. Maziga was up as the tying run in the 5th inning and struck out swinging, and this could be all for Cooper, who's been outstanding tonight as manager Fred Stanley is on his way to the mound. And that is going to be all for Cooper. So we have a pitching change. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Fresno 4, Salt Lake 1. Back in a minute on KAT 103.1, The One.
So I go to hang out with my friend Jen the other day, and I get stuck in the lobby of her apartment building because Jen's line is busy and I have no one to buzz me in. So there I am between the 2 glass doors, and I notice, for the first time ever, that there are 2 stacks of Yellow Page directories. Right there in front of the mailboxes is a stack of Yellow Book Yellow Pages and a stack of that other book by the phone company. Yuck! Who wants anything from the phone company? So I started thinking, why are there 2 stacks of Yellow Pages? First, I called my friend Kathy, and I said, did you know there were 2 kinds of Yellow Pages? And Kathy goes, no, but did you ever see Yellow Book's menus? They've got a ton of restaurants in there. And then I called my mom, and I said, did you know there were 2 kinds of Yellow Pages? And my mom goes, no, Candace, but I know Yellow Book has all the businesses I need to redo my home. So I'm thinking, if everyone's so into Yellow Book, how come there are 2 stacks of Yellow Pages? I mean, who needs that other book anyway? Not me.
Smart business owners advertising Yellow Book, not that other book. Call 1-800-YB-YELLOW.
In store for a hot, long summer in the Valley? Looking for somewhere that will quench your thirst? Then head to downtown Grizzlies Stadium for every home Thursday game. It'll be Thirsty Thursday. Enjoy 12-ounce Miller products and 12-ounce Coca-Cola products for just $1. That's right, just $1 for every Thursday home game. Grizzlies baseball. There's nothing minor about it. Tyler Walker on the mound for the Fresno Grizzlies as we are in the bottom of the 7th inning. 4-1 in favor of Fresno, and he'll face Alfredo Amezaga, the tying run. An outstanding effort for Brian Cooper tonight. He leaves responsible for Johnson at second and Specht at first. And here is San Francisco native Tyler Walker, who was in the Detroit Tigers organization last year, 26 games at AAA Toledo. does have 5 games of big league experience with the Mets in 2002. Went to University High School in San Francisco, but grew up in Marin County and still lives there in Ross. He's excited to be in the Giants organization. He'll face Amezaga. He's 0 for 3. Fly to center, fly to left, and a strikeout swinging. Johnson at second, Specht at first. And Tyler Walker, his first pitch. Amezaga takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Dusty Bergman continues to warm for Salt Lake. Grizzlies 2 in the first, 2 in the second. Salt Lake a run in the 5th. Outfield shallow, around toward left. Walker's pitch, fastball low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Talking about the Tigers and their 4-0 start, and Walker, who did not pitch for Detroit last year, but certainly knew a lot of people who did while at Toledo. 1 ball, 1 strike. He comes set. Now he delivers. Amezaga swings a ground to second base, right at Davy Cruz. He'll underhand it to the shortstop, Athos, covering the 4 Specht. And Walker gets the Grizzlies out of trouble in the 7th inning. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. On to the 8th. Fresno 4, Salt Lake 1 on KAAT 103.1. The One. Do you like great bargains? Enjoy online auctions? Check out B-Link, the Valley's largest local online auction. This is your chance to bid on hundreds of items from local retailers. First, log on to FresnoBee.com/B-Link. That's Fresno, BEE.com/BEELINK. And register anytime beginning April 12th for your chance to preview items up for bid. Check out the merchandise you're interested in at the store's location. Then, look for the product guide in your Fresno Bee starting Sunday, April 18th. But the real fun begins Tuesday, April 20th, when you start bidding. B-Link, the Fresno Bee's online auction. Bid online and save. Monday, April 19th and Monday, May 10th. It'll be a business person special at downtown Grizzly Stadium. For just $12, you get 2 field-level tickets, 2 hot dogs, 2 bags of David's Original Sunflower Seeds, and 2 12-ounce fountain drinks. Bring a buddy, bring the whole office. Each game starts at 12:05. For more information, call the Grizzlies front office at 559-442-1994. Grizzlies baseball. There's nothing minor about it.
Have you walked into your favorite bar or restaurant lately and noticed something's missing? It's secondhand smoke. It's been at least 6 years since the bars and restaurants have gone smoke-free. People working in the bar and restaurant industry no longer have to worry about choosing between their job and their health. Even customers can breathe easier, now without the smoky haze that once floated around them as they ate and drank. The Fresno County Tobacco Prevention Program at 445-3276 encourages all bars and restaurants to continue protecting their employees and customers from harmful secondhand smoke. If you have any questions regarding the smoke-free workplace law, call the Fresno County Tobacco Prevention Program at 445-3276.
Left-hander Dusty Bergman on a pitch for Salt Lake as we go to the top of the 8th inning. Fresno 4, Salt Lake 1. Doug Greenwald with you on KAAT 103.1. The One. Both starters have finished tonight. Not finished the game, but finished for the game. As the bullpen's now in there, swinging a ground ball to Ellison, by Ellison is short. Up with it is Amezaga. He throws quickly to get Ellison. 1 pitch, 1 out. And now for the 4th time tonight, Fresno will go to the top of its order for the 3rd baseman, Brian Dallimore. Brian Cooper outstanding in his Fresno debut this evening, 6 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 1 run unearned, no walks, and 6 strikeouts. Brian Dallimore, an RBI double back in the 2nd inning, and Dusty Bergman's first pitch to Dallimore. Fastball, strike 1 called on the outside corner, 0-1. Bergman comes right back from the first base side of the rubber, and Dallimore takes in the dirt. 1-1 the count. For Bergman, this is a return trip to Salt Lake, where he pitched briefly last year. Primarily spent time at Arkansas, the Double-A club. The 1-1 on the way. Dallimore swings and rips one in the left field, and that'll fall in front of Johnson for a base hit. That's Brian's 2nd tonight. He's now 2 for 4. 7 hits for the Grizzlies. That'll bring up the shortstop, Jamie Athos. He is 1 for 3 tonight. Singled and scored back in the first inning in which the Grizzlies scored twice and then added 2 more in the second, but that's been it since. Well, the runner at first, Alomar, and Bergman to the plate. The fastball is low inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Imperative here that Athos at least get Dallimore to second base. Quinlan plays off the bag and almost in front of Dallimore, and Athos swings and misses at a curve. 1 ball, 1 strike. A very big run over at first base for the Grizzlies here in the visitors' half of the 8th inning. 3-run lead at any time in this ballpark is not much. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Infield a double play depth. Athos swings and a little loop around in the left field toward the line. Johnson on the run. Still coming on dives. Can't get it, but it goes foul. Good effort by the left fielder, Gary Johnson, right in back of the pitching mound in the Grizzlies' left field bullpen. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bergman got into 1 game here last year with Salt Lake, but 50 games at AA Arkansas, where he was 6-5. Grew up and still lives in Carson City, Nevada. That's the capital. And played college ball at the University of Hawaii. Been in the Angel system since '99. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count with 1 out. Fresno 4, Salt Lake 1. Visitors half of the 8th. Dallimore at first base. Again, Quinlan off the bag, playing just to Dallimore's left. And Brian draws a throw over, and he's back in safely. Tomorrow night, Kevin Correa will pitch for the Fresno Grizzlies. And Jason Middlebrick goes for Salt Lake. The 1-2 on the way. Breaking ball taken in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Giants off tonight. What a game last night. Down 1-0 going to the 9th. Scored twice in the top of the 9th to take the lead. San Diego ties it in the bottom of the 9th. Giants regain the lead in the 10th. San Diego scores twice in the bottom of the 10th and wins. 2 balls, 2 strikes. There goes Dallimore. The pitch to Athos, swung on a missed strike 3. Throw to second base is not in time. Dallimore slides in safely. The ball got away from the shortstop Amezaga anyway. Not too far away, just to the shortstop side of the second base bag. So Athos is down on strikes. First strikeout for Bergman. And Brian Dallimore has the first Grizzly stolen base of 2004. And here is Linden, a big spot for him. 0 for 3 tonight. Has grounded out all 3 times. Dallimore, a big run at second base. The Grizzlies have a 3-run lead. And Bergman to the plate, and Linden takes a strike on the outside corner. No balls, 1 strike. Well, Barry Bonds did not homer last night, came very close at that new ballpark at Petco Park in San Diego, which looked beautiful on television, as I'm sure it is in person. 0-1 on the way. Bergman to the plate. Linden swings on a dry foul right side past first base coach and hitting instructor Steve Decker. 0-2. Just hard to picture the San Diego Padres not playing at Jack Murphy Stadium anymore. They had played there since day 1 of their franchise back in 1969. But then again, it took time to get used to the Giants not playing at Candlestick. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Dallimore from second, and Linden a foul to the backstop. Count holds it 0-2. Jay Payton in center field last night for San Diego made an outstanding catch. And I don't know if that ball was going to go out or not, but did leap right in front of the fence to pull it down. So Barry Bonds did not hit .660 against Clemens, nor did he do it against David Wells. Dallimore, a big lead at second, the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a little loop around in the left field. Johnson comes in and has to play it on the hop. The ball gets away from him. Grounding third is Dallimore. He will score, and Todd Linden comes through with a big 2-out hit here on the top of the 8th inning. And the Grizzlies lead it now 5-1.
First baseman, Number 22.
With a big RBI single. And Fresno regains its 4-run lead. That'll bring up the first baseman, Damon Minor, who delivered a 2-run homer back in the first inning. Once again, the infield swung well around to the right. Outfield medium depth and straight away. Then in the lead at first, and Minor takes a strike from Bergman on the outside corner. 0-1 the count. Third baseman Pelias almost playing a deep shortstop. Linden from first, the 0-1. Minor takes low outside, 1-1. The shortstop Amezaga playing directly back of the second base bag, but on the lip of the outfield. 1 ball, 1 strike to Damon Minor. Bergman comes home. Minor takes, and that is low. 2 balls and a strike. Red Sox a loss in their home opener today against Toronto, 10-5. The Blue Jays scored 3 in the 8th and 3 in the 9th to win that one. Justin Spire, the winner, beat Mike Timlin. Can understand if the Red Sox were a little tired today. 2 balls and a strike. Linden from first base, and Minor takes strike 2 on the outside corner, 2-2. Played 13 innings last night in Baltimore, and instead of flying back, at least within a couple of hours after the game, because of mechanical problems, the plane was just sitting there for about 4 hours and did not take off till 6 in the morning. 2-2 on the way. Minor swings and misses at a fastball, strike 3. And Bergman settles for allowing just a run here in the 8th on 2 hits. A man left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 5-1. Fresno on KAAT 103.1. The one for CNN News.
Welcome to Hank's Kitchen, the cooking show for guys. Today's breakfast, leftover pizza. Step 1, open the fridge. Step 2, pull out the pizza box from last week. But try not to knock over that half-empty can of beer. You're going to need that later. Step 3, look at the pizza. Is it shrunken, dehydrated, and curled up like a witch's boot? If so, you might need to use the microwave. Now, sometimes the pizza is beyond resuscitation. To test it, tap it against a table. If it makes this noise, just go to Carl's Jr. instead for a low-carb breakfast bowl. There's eggs, cheese, sausage, ham, bacon, and it's all in a bowl. As for the pizza, have it later with that half-empty beer. Just pretend it's a really big cracker.
The low-carb breakfast bowl with only 5 grams of carbs. New at Carl's Jr. Without us, some guys would starve. Price and participation may vary.
Do you like great bargains? Enjoy online auctions? Check out B-Link, the Valley's largest local online auction. This is your chance to bid on hundreds of items from local retailers. First, log on to FresnoBee.com/B-Link. That's FresnoBee.com/BEELINK. And register anytime beginning April 12th for your chance to preview items up for bid. Check out the merchandise you're interested in at the store's location. Then, look for the product guide in your Fresno Bee starting Sunday, April 18th. But the real fun begins Tuesday, April 20th, when you start bidding. B-Link, the Fresno Bee's online auction. Bid online and save. 5-1 lead for the Fresno Grizzlies. We go to the home half of the 8th inning. 5 runs, 8 hits, an error for Fresno. 1 run, 6 hits, no errors for the Stingers. And Tyler Walker to face Brian Gordon here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And the right-hander's first pitch, fastball. Gordon swings and misses 0-1. Gordon, Quinlan, and Riggs 2-3-4 here in the home half of the 8th. 5-8-1 for the Grizzlies, 1-6-0 for the Stingers. Walker out on the windup, and the right-hander's pitch. Fastball misses low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bobby Jenks for Salt Lake tonight struck out 9 in 7 innings, allowing 4 runs on 6 hits. 1 ball, 1 strike. Walker comes back, and Gordon takes in the dirt. 2 balls, 1 strike. Just about complete darkness right now here in Salt Lake on this Friday night, April 9th. Game 2 out of a scheduled 144 regular season contests. 2 balls and a strike. Gordon swings and swats one foul left side. 2 balls, 1 strike. Or 2-2 the count. Grizzlies home opener, April 16th. Tickets still available. 559-442-1994. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count to the former Diamondback product and Gordon. Walker to the plate, and Gordon takes high. And the count runs full. 3-2 now. And you do not want to put Gordon on, especially in front of Quinlan, who is in the on-deck circle. 3 balls, 2 strikes the count. And Walker to make this very important payoff pitch. Here it is. And Gordon swings and grounds one slowly to third along the grass. Bobbled by Dallimore. There'll be no play. The ball deflects to the shortstop, Athos. That ball looked like a snake in the grass. Wasn't hit terribly hard, but was hit right at Dallimore. And Brian commits his second error tonight. A fielding error there. Also had a throwing error back in the 5th inning. Gordon 0 for 4. The leadoff man is on, and here is the first baseman, Rob Quinlan. Check out Subway's fantastic 7 Under 6 lineup. That's right, your greater Fresno area Subway restaurants have 7 sandwiches with 6 grams of fat or less, like the delicious honey mustard turkey with cucumber with just 4 grams of fat. Subway, eat fresh. Here is Quinlan, who swings and rips one foul right side. No balls, 1 strike. Quinlan this evening is 1 for 3. He has singled to center. That was back in the 1st inning. 0-1 the count, and Walker to the plate. Quinlan takes up and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. You can see why that 8th inning run, top of the 8th inning for the Grizzlies, very big right now. Getting back to a 4-run lead. 1 ball, 1 strike. Infield a double play depth, and Quinlan takes a breaking ball low and away. 2-1. Going at it tonight in Atlanta. Cubs and Braves. First meeting since the divisional playoff series last year, which was won by the Cubs. Top of the 11th, 1-1. 2 balls and a strike. Walker to the plate. Quinlan swings. Hits one high in the air down the right field line, and that will go foul. 2-2 the count. It's not often that one has said, yeah, that playoff series was won by the Cubs. Doesn't sound right, but it was true last year, at least for the first round. A 1-1 ball game now in the 11th. LaTroy Hawkins in there for the Cubs. Antonio Alfonseca for the Braves. Todd Hollingsworth is homered for the Cubs. Andrew Jones for the Braves. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Small lead at first base by Gordon. And Walker's pitch is in the dirt to Quinlan. 3-2. So back-to-back batters that Walker has gone full on to start the 8th inning, with Riggs waiting on deck. We get to get a crowd count tonight, but ones that are still here are bundled up. In fact, I can feel the heat on here in the press box right now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch swing and a line drive center field, base hit. Gordon will stop at second base. And Quinlan has his second hit tonight, and here come the Stingers. Runners at first and second with nobody out. And both of Quinlan's hits have come to center field, and here comes the Grizzlies pitching coach, Ross Grimsley. We'll have to talk to Tyler Walker. 7 hits now for Salt Lake, who was stuck on 1 hit for most of the game before getting 2 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, and 2 in the 7th, and now 1 here in the 8th inning. And Grimsley, a quick word to Walker. Mentioned Tyler was with Toledo last year in the International League. And they have a beautiful new stadium. Fifth Third Park, which is the same name as the stadium in Dayton, Ohio, where the Reds Midwest League affiliate plays, the Dayton Dragons. And Tyler, a lot of nice things to say about the ballpark in northern Ohio, and feels the same way about the ballpark in downtown Fresno. So here is Riggs. He's 1 for 3. Tyler Walker to the plate, and the fastball is low to Riggs. 1 ball, no strikes. If he gets on, Wesson is the tying run. Grizzlies not expecting a bunt right here. Now with Salt Lake down by 4 here in the bottom of the 8th. Stingers need base runners. Outfield medium depth and straightaway as Walker to the plate delivers, swinging a foul ball back toward the luxury suites here on the 4th floor. The ball ricochets down to the first level of seats. 1 ball, 1 strike. Last night the Braves played the Mets. The 30th anniversary of Hank Aaron's 715th Major League home run, which at the time set the all-time record. 1 ball, 1 strike. Riggs takes it. The letters strike 2, 1 and 2. And for that ball game, they were wearing the throwback 70s style Braves uniforms with the royal blue and the Braves name scribbled across the front of the shirt in blue letters. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runners at first and second, and Riggs looks at a breaking ball. Strike 3 at the knees. And has a few words for plate umpire Scott Latinder. A big strikeout there, 1 down. Riggs unable to move the runners up. First strikeout this year for Walker. And here is Barry Wesson. Hitless tonight in 3 trips to the plate. Gordon at second, Quinlan at first. 5-1 Grizzlies, bottom of the 8th, and the pitch to Wesson. Fastball is high. 1 ball, no strikes. Looks like Dave Beers warming up for the Grizzlies right now in the left field bullpen. Pin is silent for the Stingers. A ball and no strikes as Walker delivers and a breaking ball. Wesson looks at the knees for a strike, 1 and 1. Cincinnati off to a good start. Beat Pittsburgh today 5-1. They won 3 of their first 4. Ken Griffey Jr. is second homer. Adam Dunn also homering for the second time of the young season. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out with Pelias on deck. Tyler Walker to the plate, and Wesson swings and a fly ball foul right side. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Florida knocked off Philadelphia 4-3. Matt Parashow, newcomer to the Marlins, man that had spent his first game in the big leagues with Anaheim and has bounced around since, but he has his second win of the 2004 campaign. A ball, 2 strikes to count as Walker delivers, and Wesson chases a slider in the dirt, and he strikes out. So after allowing the first 2 to reach, Tyler Walker has come back to strike out Riggs and Wesson. That'll bring up the third baseman, Alex Pelias. Arizona with 3 in the bottom of the first. 3-1 lead over St. Louis. Top of the second, Albert Pujols already with 3 home runs. Colorado and Los Angeles just underway at Dodger Stadium. That game 0-0. Well, here is Pelias, 0 for 3 tonight. And Walker comes right back, and Alex takes low outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Gordon reached on an error by the third baseman, Dallimore, a fielding error. He is at second. Quinlan is at first. And now Pelias trying to come up with a 2-out hit. The Stingers with their only run tonight back in the 5th inning. That came with 2 out. 5 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors for Fresno. A run, 7 hits, no errors for Salt Lake. Outfield medium depth and straight away. Tyler Walker from the first base side of the rubber is set. Now he delivers, and Pelias looks at the belt for a strike, 1-1. Extra innings tonight in Puerto Rico. The Expos play several series down there this year. 2-2, the Mets and Expos. Clifford Floyd, a home run for the Mets. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runners at first and second. Pelias swings, hits one high and foul to the right. Count holds it 1-2. Houston beat up on Milwaukee today, 13-7. The Astros had a 9-run 6th. Wade Miller beat Wes Obermuller. Jeff Bagwell, home run for the Astros. Gary Bennett and Lyle Overbay went deep for Milwaukee. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And the pitch to Pelias low outside, 2-2. Well, Wade Miller gets a win at Miller Park. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count with 2 out. Gordon is at second. Quinlan is at first. Fresno 5, Salt Lake 1, home half of the 8th. Walker to the belt. Now he kicks and delivers. Polias swings in. This is at a slider in the dirt. Strike 3. And Tyler Walker, after allowing the first two to reach, comes back to strike out the side. And the Stingers done in the 8th. No runs, a hit, an error, 2 left. On to the 9th in Salt Lake. 5-1 Grizzlies on KAAT 103.1. The one for the sounds of Sinatra. Community Medical Centers is proud to give you all a place to bring your creaks, aches, pains, sprains, and groans. The new state-of-the-art Community Sports Center, conveniently located in North Fresno, offers 12,000 square feet dedicated to fitness training and the latest outpatient rehabilitation therapies. Ask your doctor about the place that every body needs, the Community Sports Center.
Looking for a great place to celebrate your birthday or team party? The Wildwood Pool and Spa at Grizzly Stadium is the place to be. Also great for bachelor parties, businesses, and family functions. The Wildwood Pool and Spa can accommodate any group from 25 to 50 people in size. Your pool admission includes a catered poolside meal, a unique way to watch Grizzlies take on the competition for all the great price of just $30 per person. Summer dates are filling fast, so cool off in the Fresno heat by calling 442-1994 to secure a spot by the pool today.
What's my Subway salad? Well, it's hard for a farmer man to choose. Yes, my goat friend, the new Atkins Friendly Grilled Chicken and Baby Spinach is my favorite, with grilled chicken strips and tasty toppers all on a bed of 100% baby spinach. It's Atkins Friendly. So's the classic club salad made fresh under my sniffer. Too bad Atkins ain't for goats. What's your language? My Subway salad, any of the new Subway fresh salads. It's what I eat when I want to eat fresh. Subway, eat fresh.
Rob Stratton to lead off the top of the 9th inning. Fresno 5, Salt Lake 1. Doug Greenwald with you on KAAT 103.1. The one. 5 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors for Fresno. A run, 7 hits, no errors for Salt Lake. Rob Stratton, Davey Cruz, and Adam Shabala face the left-hander Dusty Bergman, whose first pitch to Stratton is in the dirt. 1 ball, no strikes. 5, 6, and 7 for the Grizzlies. I'm sure would love to add another run right here. 1-0 on the way. Stratton swings and fouls one to the backstop. 1 ball, 1 strike. We've seen some good pitching here tonight. Both starters and relievers. The 1-1 on the way. Stratton swings and misses at a fastball, strike 2. 1-2 the count. Third baseman Polias back of the bag, just off the line. The 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball just misses low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bergman going with those short sleeves tonight. 2-2 on the way, and Stratton swings on a little loop around to the right field. A base hit for Rob Stratton. Well, that is his first hit of the year after going 0 for his first 7 with 7 strikeouts. And a big runner out at first base for the Grizzlies. And here is Davey Cruz, who is 2 for 3. Couple of singles and a run scored. For the runner at first base, Stratton. Infield, a double play depth. 5-1 Fresno. Grizzlies now with 9 hits, and Cruz takes, so that is low. 1 ball, no strikes. And we'll see if Dave Veers goes the 9th for the Grizzlies. He was up earlier. Stratton not much of a threat to take off. Quinlan plays in front of him at first. The pitch to Cruz, swinging a ground ball to third. Could be 2. Polias to spec at second for 1 on to Quinlan at first. Double play. Couldn't have drawn that one up any better. Ball hit right to Polias standing near the bag at third. Easy toss to the second baseman, Speck covering there, and then on to Quinlan at first. Second double play. The Grizzlies have hit into tonight. 2 out, nobody on. Here's Shabala. 0 for 2 tonight. He hit into a double play back in the 4th. And Bergman to the plate. Shabala swings the drive foul left side. No balls, 1 strike. Want to remind all of you to stay with us after the ball game tonight for our Fresno Bee post-game show. 0-1 pitch to Adam. Fastball up and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. White Sox win today at Yankee Stadium 9-3 behind John Garland. 1 ball, 1 strike to Shabala. Swinging a ground ball, slowly hit towards short. Amazing, a couple steps to his left near the second base bag. Throws on the run. Gets Shabala. And the Grizzlies come up empty here in the ninth. They get a hit. Do not leave anyone. Last chance for Salt Lake. We go to the bottom of the ninth. Fresno 5, Salt Lake 1 on KAAT 103.1. The one.
Baseball season is here, and it's time to book your picnic in the Miller Pavilion at Grizzly Stadium. Watch your Fresno Grizzlies battle the competition in the best stadium in minor league baseball. The Miller Pavilion provides a great environment for your company or church picnic, and your admission includes your seat and a fully catered meal. Prices start as low as $21.50, and availability is limited. So call 442-1994 to speak with a Grizzlies representative today to book your event.
Emergency hotline, can I help you?
Hello? Yes, I need help.
All right, sir, what's the problem?
I can't taste my beer.
You can't taste your beer?
No, it's really freaking me out.
Okay, calm down, sir.
I take a sip, I feel it in my mouth. It's wet, but there's no taste. Nothing.
Okay, sir, listen to me. Sir, stay with me. What's your name?
Robert.
Okay, Robert, this is what I want you to do. Put the bottle down and step away from the beer. Go ahead.
Okay, I did it.
Now I want you to leave the house immediately, walk straight down to the corner store and pick up a 6-pack of Miller Lite. Robert, are you listening?
Yes.
Open one, take a sip, and everything should be right back to normal.
Okay.
Don't worry, Robert. We've seen this problem before. It's going to be all right.
Next time, try the light beer that actually tastes like beer. Great tasting, less filling Miller Lite. Miller. Good call. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Last chance for Salt Lake as we go to the bottom of the ninth inning. Fresno 5 and Salt Lake 1. Doug Greenwald with you on KAT 103.1. The one. And Dave Veers on to try and close this one. So a good job done by Tyler Walker in middle relief tonight. Going an inning and a third, allowing a hit and striking out 3. And now the veteran Dave Veers, V-E-R-E-S, comes on for the Grizzlies, man that pitched last season with the Chicago Cubs and a little bit of time in Iowa. Down in the 3 ball games for the Cubs in that playoff series against the Florida Marlins, the National League Championship Series, including Game 7 of last year. It's not an issue that I have brought up with Dave, who I honestly have not met yet, but probably will not start the conversation about that series. Here's Nieves, and he takes outside from the 10-year Major League veteran. Veers, 1 ball, no strikes. Bottom third of the Salt Lake order, Nieves, Johnson, Specht. And Veers to the plate, a breaking ball low. 2 balls, no strikes. Veers coming off a shoulder injury this offseason and signed by the Giants, and like a lot of players at AAA, using this level to get in some work to get back to the big leagues eventually. Nieves swings on a pop-up foul right side. 2 balls, 1 strike. Dave Veers, 37 years old. Long time with the Rockies, Cardinals, Cubs, Astros. Originally was in the A's organization back in the late 80s. Here's 2-1 on the way to Nieves. Swing and a drive in the left center field. That's going to be in for a base hit. Picked up by Ellison. And Nieves, good start for the Stingers. A single to center. That'll bring up the left fielder, Gary Johnson. And Jeff Urban begins the warm. This will be the right-handed, left-handed closing crew, if you will, for the Grizzlies this year. Here's from the right side, Urban from the left side. Now here's Gary. He is 2 for 3 tonight. A couple of singles, including an RBI hit back in the 5th inning. Nieves, the runner at first base. Minor plays behind him. Fresno 5, Salt Lake 1. Bottom of the 9th inning. Grizzlies 2 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the 8th. Stingers with their lone run in the 5th. First pitch on the way to Johnson is in the dirt from Veers. 1 ball, no strikes. Texas hands Anaheim its first loss this year, 12-4 today. Craig Loss, Adam Kennedy go deep for the Angels. Hank Blaylock, Kevin Minch, Lance Nix. Homer for the Rangers. 1 ball, no strikes. Nieves at first and a breaking ball low and inside to Johnson. 2 balls, no strikes. The Grizzlies looking to even their record at 1-1. 2 balls, no strikes. Veers comes right back. Johnson swings. Ground ball right side. Past the second baseman Cruz onto the right field for a base hit. Good effort by Cruz to dive for that ball, but unable to come up with it. Nieves to second. Johnson, his 3rd hit tonight. And here come the Stingers. Runners at first and second. Nobody out. And here is the second baseman, Brian Specht. He has a couple of singles tonight. And the Stingers are a runner away from getting the tying run to the plate on this chilly evening here in northern Utah. I'm talking before that it was about 50 degrees according to the Weather Channel, but I think it's a lot colder than that. So here is Specht, who swings down the right field line toward the corner, a base hit and more. Nieves will score. Johnson is going to be held at third. Specht an RBI double. 5-2 now Fresno, and still nobody out. Fans booing manager Mike Brumley for holding Johnson at third, but Brumley doing the right thing, not wanting to chance anything with the team now down by 3 with a tying run coming to the plate. Certainly does not want anybody thrown out on the bases. Specht, his 3rd hit tonight. Johnson at third. Specht at second, and Veers struggling here in the bottom of the 9th inning. And now for the 5th time tonight, Salt Lake will go to the top of its order for the shortstop, Alfredo Amezaga. He is hitless tonight in 4 at-bats. The infield is back. Veers to the plate. Amezaga swings, and this is at a changeup. No balls and a strike. And Jeff Urban warming up for the Grizzlies. Oh, 1 on the way. Amezaga takes all the way to the backstop. In to score comes Johnson, and the third goes Specht. Pitch was down and in and skipped right to the screen. 5-3 Fresno. A wild pitch scores Johnson. And the count to Amezaga is at a ball and a strike. Keep in mind, it's been a while since Veers has pitched in a ball game. Missing all of spring training, I mentioned that shoulder injury. And Ross Grimsley out to settle down, the veteran right-hander. Bears last year with the Cubs was 2-1 with a save in 31 games. Struggling right here. Nobody out. A man at third. The tying run at the plate. And Salt Lake gets action going now in the right field bullpen. Scott Dunn, former Reds farmhand, begins to toss. Infield back. They'll concede the run right here. The 1-1. Amezaga swings and misses at a breaking ball in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. For the right fielder, Brian Gordon waiting on deck. 3 straight hits. A wild pitch. Add that up. It's produced 2 runs for the Stingers. Still no one out. With Specht at third. The 1-2 to Amezaga. Swing. And a little looper back of second base. And over Cruz's head. A base hit. And the score is Specht. 5-4 now Fresno. All this done at either the bottom of the order or the very top, and now we're getting toward the meat of the order with the number 2 batter, Gordon, at the plate. And that's going to be all for Dave Beers. Fred Stanley on his way to the mound, and the manager points to the bullpen. We have a pitching change. Bottom of the 9th inning. Salt Lake has scored 3 times. Fresno 5, Salt Lake 4. Back in a minute on KAT 103.1, The One.
Welcome to Hank's Kitchen, the cooking show for guys. Today's breakfast, leftover pizza. Step 1, open the fridge. Step 2, pull out the pizza box from last week. But try not to knock over that half-empty can of beer. You're going to need that later. Step 3, look at the pizza. Is it shrunken, dehydrated, and curled up like a witch's boot? If so, you might need to use the microwave. Now, sometimes the pizza is beyond resuscitation. To test it, tap it against a table. If it makes this noise, just go to Carl's Jr. instead for a low-carb breakfast bowl. There's eggs, cheese, sausage, ham, bacon, and it's all in a bowl. As for the pizza, have it later with that half-empty beer. Just pretend it's a really big cracker.
The low-carb breakfast bowl with only 5 grams of carbs. New at Carl's Jr. Without us, some guys would starve. Price and participation may vary.
Well, now it's up to Jeff Urban to see if he can close this one. Dave Beers unable to do so. Beers faced 4 batters, allowed 4 hits, and gives away to the left-hander, and Urban on for the first time this year. Jeff pitched in 29 games last year with the Grizzlies, started 19 of them, was 3-10 with an ERA at 5.24, and inherits Alfredo Amezaga at first base, and will face the winning run in Brian Gordon. The Grizzlies were cruising right along tonight, up 5-1 going to the bottom of the 9th. But Beers allowed 4 straight hits, singles to Nieves and Johnson, and Specht an RBI double, and then Amezaga at the top of the order with a single. And now, Urban to face Brian Gordon. 3 runs home in the bottom of the 9th for Salt Lake. Fresno 5, Salt Lake 4. And here is Gordon, who is 0 for 4. Urban, one of the many number 1 picks by the Giants back in 1998 out of Ball State University. Now in his 7th season in the Giants system. Was called up twice last year by San Francisco, but never got in a game. And eventually was taken off the 40-man roster. Runner at first is Amezaga. He's the tying run. Gordon shows bunt, takes outside 1-0. Well, now's the time to bunt for Salt Lake with a tying run at first. And with Quinlan and Riggs and Wesson, all guys very, very capable of getting the tying run in or more. 5-9-2 for the Grizzlies, 4-11-0 for the Stingers. Dallimore from third, ready to charge. Urban to the plate. Gordon looks at a fastball for a strike on the outside corner. 1-1 the count. Urban wearing his gray pants all the way up to his knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. He comes home, and Gordon wants this one back toward the mound. Urban is going to go to second, and he throws it off the base out in the shallow left center field. Amezaga will go to third. Gordon to first. The throw is low, and it looked like it hit the second base bag and deflected out in the shallow left center. And now the tying run 90 feet away with nobody out. The winning run is at first. The second straight night that the Grizzlies have botched a sacrifice play. Urban will be charged with an error, give Gordon a sacrifice. And now here is Quinlan, who can put one up the gap right here, would win the game for the Stingers. He is 2 for 4 tonight. Infield a double play depth, almost as if they will concede the run and make it a tie ball game. The pitch to Quinlan. Fastball, strike 1 called on the inside corner. 0-1 the count. Adam Riggs, the designated hitter, waiting on deck. Amezaga the tying run at third. Gordon the winning run at first. The 0-1. Quinlan swings. Grounds one toward short. It hit off his chest, and the score comes Amezaga. There'll be no play. Everybody is safe. And we are tied at 5. Similar to the play last night, a hard hit ball right at Athos that spelled trouble. Right off of Athos' chest, kicked up into the air. Quinlan will get credit for a hit. And we start from scratch. We are tied at 5. The first 6 Salt Lake batters have reached here in the bottom of the 9th inning. The winning run, Gordon goes to second. Quinlan is on for the 3rd time tonight. And now a base hit by Riggs can win it. Fresno 5, Salt Lake 5. And we'll see if Riggs bunts right here. Dallimore ready to charge from third. Minor ready to charge from first. And Urban to the plate. Riggs shows bunt, gets it down third base side. Picked up by Urban. He will throw to first to get Riggs. And that is the first out here in the bottom of the 9th. An outstanding bunt. And he gets a standing ovation, and well, he should for that. So Gordon goes to third, Quinlan to second. 2-4 on the sacrifice bunt. And that is the first out here in the bottom of the 9th. And we'll see if Urban will pitch to Wesson with first base open, and I highly doubt it. Winning run, Gordon is at third. Quinlan, whose run means absolutely nothing, is at second base. And indeed, they're going to intentionally walk Wesson and load the bases to get a force at any base. 5-5, bottom of the 9th. As Wesson looks at ball 2, he is 0 for 4 tonight. Urban issues now ball 3. So if you're Salt Lake, you have to feel pretty good right now. At the very worst, you're going to have a 10th inning, and you're sitting real good with a chance to win it also. As Wesson looks at ball 4 intentionally. So that loads the bases, and the 9th man to bat here in the bottom of the 9th is the third baseman, Alex Polias. So much for an outstanding starting effort by Brian Cooper tonight. All that goes to waste, allowing a run, actually, which is unearned in 6 2/3 innings with 6 strikeouts. And now the bases are loaded. The only run that matters right now, or only runner that matters, is Gordon at third. He's the winning run. But Quinlan at second and Wesson at first are significant because it sets up a force at any base. Urban to Polias, who swings and rips one foul right side, 0-1. Now the infield is in, the outfield is in. Nobody warming up for the Grizzlies right now. If we have a 10th inning, Scott Dunn will pitch for Salt Lake, or he will more than likely pitch for Salt Lake. He's been warming up for some time. Polias is 0 for 4 tonight. 5-5, bottom of the 9th. Bases loaded, 1 out. And the 0-1 from Urban. Polias swings and a drive in the right field. A base hit. In the score comes Gordon, and Salt Lake with 5 runs here in the bottom of the 9th inning have come back to win by a score of 6-5. Give up 5 runs here in the bottom of the 9th inning. And he comes back to win this one 6-5. Stingers in the 9th, 5 runs, 6 hits. There was an error. They leave the bases loaded. Final score this evening, Salt Lake 6, Fresno 5. Back with the final totals in a moment on KAT 103.1, The One.
Elephant will stand so proud, give and sing when you hoop out loud. If you don't believe it's true, come on back to the blues.
The Chaffee Chaffee Zoo is wild with magic and adventure. Capture it through the eyes of your children. When you do the zoo, it's fun, it's educational, and it's the Valley's best bargain in family entertainment.
Dr. Sue will tell you that giraffe's neck is long. Camel riding through the zoo while the hippo sings along.
Bring the kids out to the zoo and see what the zoo brings out in them. A fascination with nature, a natural inquisitiveness, and a real sense of fun and adventure. Discover the Chaffee Zoo, the place the Valley's wild about.
Bring your family, come right in. You're always welcome here, my friend. Every word I say is true.
Do the Chaffee Zoo in Fresno, 1 block east of 99 on Olive Avenue.
Come on, let's do the zoo.
A message from the Fresno Advertising Federation.
Fresno Grizzlies baseball was sponsored by Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling. The Fresno Bee since 1922. The Central Valley's leading newspaper. Subway. Eat Fresh. Community Medical Center. Carl's Jr. Yellow Book USA. His Magazine. Supercuts. Human Services Center. And the County of Fresno Use Oil. Now, stay tuned for the Fresno Bee post-game show is coming up next. It's now time for the Fresno Bee postgame show. Since 1922, the Fresno Bee has been Central California's leading newspaper. Now for the recap of the game, here's Doug Greenwald.
Salt Lake Stingers score 5 times in the bottom of the 9th inning and come back and win this one 6-5. Here are the final totals for the Salt Lake Stingers. 6 runs, 13 hits, no errors, 11 left. Fresno, 5 runs, 9 hits, 3 errors, 2 left. The winning pitcher tonight is Dusty Bergman. He goes to 1-0. And the loss to Jeff Urban, he falls to 0-1. Time of the ball game, 2 hours, 19 minutes. Played in front of a paid crowd of 6,118. Stay tuned. The Fresno Bee postgame show is coming up next.
So I go to hang out with my friend Jen the other day, and I get stuck in the lobby of her apartment building because Jen's line is busy and I have no one to buzz me in. So there I am between the 2 glass doors, and I notice, for the first time ever, that there are 2 stacks of Yellow Page directories. Right there in front of the mailboxes is a stack of Yellow Book Yellow Pages and a stack of that other book by the phone company. Yuck! Who wants anything from the phone company? So I started thinking, why are there 2 stacks of Yellow Pages? First, I called my friend Kathy, and I said, did you know there were 2 kinds of Yellow Pages? And Kathy goes, no, but did you ever see Yellow Book's menus? They've got a ton of restaurants in there. And then I called my mom, and I said, did you know there were 2 kinds of Yellow Pages? And my mom goes, no, Candace, but I know Yellow Book has all the businesses I need to redo my home. So I'm thinking, if everyone's so into Yellow Book, how come there are 2 stacks of Yellow Pages? I mean, who needs that other book anyway? Not me.
Smart business owners advertising Yellow Book, not that other book. Call 1-800-YB-YELLOW.
The Fresno Grizzlies have a full lineup in store for you opening weekend. On Saturday, 7:05, it'll be Jerome Williams bobblehead night for the first 2,500 fans, sponsored by Mervyn's. The weekend is capped on Sunday, a 2:05 matinee. The first 10,000 fans will receive Crazy Paint Fresno Grizzlies magnetic schedules. Tickets are still on sale for all 3 games. Call the Grizzlies front office at 559-442-1994. Grizzlies baseball, there is nothing minor about it. Now, a scene that happened often last year, carried on into this year. The Fresno Grizzlies, a 4-run lead going to the bottom of the 9th inning, only to have Salt Lake strike for 5 runs in the bottom of the 9th. The Stingers' offense was quiet for just about the entire evening and got busy in the bottom of the 9th. As we welcome you to the Fresno Bee postgame show, Doug Greenwald with you at Franklin Covey Field in downtown Salt Lake City, Utah. The Fresno Grizzlies got off to a good start tonight. Damon Miner in the very first inning hit a 2-run homer. Fresno had 2 more runs in the second, an RBI single for catcher Trey Lunsford, an RBI double for third baseman Brian Dallimore. But then in the 5th inning, Salt Lake got busy. They scored a run in the 5th on an RBI single by left fielder Gary Johnson.
Grizzlies added what they thought was a very big run in the 8th inning on an RBI 2-out single by Todd Linden. They went to the bottom of the 9th. Fresno was up 5-1 and had the veteran right-hander Dave Beers out there, man, who has been in this situation many, many times in his 10-year major league career. Just coming back from a shoulder injury and, well, struggled in his really first game action since last October with the Chicago Cubs. 5-run lead. He allowed singles to Wilbert Nieves and Gary Johnson. Then Brian Speck poked a double down the right field line, scoring Nieves. Then with the top of the order, and Alfredo Amezaga at the plate, Beers uncorked a wild pitch. That scored Nieves. That scored Johnson. Sent Speck to third. Amezaga followed with a looping single to right just over the outstretched reach of the second baseman Davy Cruz. That made it 5-3. Let me correct it. That made it 5-4. Beers was taken out. Jeff Urban was brought in. Brian Gordon bunted. And the bunt went back to Urban, who decided to go to second base. And instead the ball looked like caromed off the second base bag out of the shallow left center. That sent Amezaga to third, Gordon to first. Then Rob Quinlan hit a ball right at the shortstop, Jamie Athas. And that ate Athas up and went as an infield hit. That scored Amezaga to make it 5-5. That made it 5-5. That timed this one up. So both starting pitchers who pitched outstanding tonight were not going to be involved in decisions. Adam Riggs made the first out of the inning on a sacrifice to send Gordon to third and Quinlan to second. And after Barry Wesson was walked intentionally, Alex Pelias came up. All he needed was a single, and this is what happened.
This is 0 for 4 tonight. 5-5, bottom of the 9th. Bases loaded, 1 out. And the 0-1 from Urban. Pelias swings and a drive in the right field. A base hit. In the score comes Gordon, and Salt Lake with 5 runs here in the bottom of the 9th inning have come back to win by a score of 6-5.
6-5, Salt Lake with a 5-run 9th. Wasted effort tonight by Brian Cooper in his first start with the Grizzlies. 6 2/3 innings, allowed 6 hits, 1 run, unearned, did not walk a batter, and struck out 6. Tyler Walker, a very good job done in the middle relief, an inning and a third of scoreless ball, striking out 3. Dave Beers, by the way, no innings, 4 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned. Jeff Urban won a third of an inning, 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned, 1 intentional walk. Dusty Bergman, his final line, 2 innings, 3 hits, 1 run earned, no walks, and 2 strikeouts, and he got the win. Now we'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard here on the Fresno Grizzlies, or the Fresno Bee postgame show. In the American League this afternoon, the Red Sox lose their home opener to the Toronto Blue Jays. That one went to Toronto 10-5. The Blue Jays 3 in the 8th and 3 in the 9th. Elsewhere, Texas beat up on Anaheim 12-4 to hand the Angels their first loss. White Sox hand the Yankees their first home loss this year, 9-3. Tampa Bay with a run on the bottom of the 9th and a one in the bottom of the 10th to win at home today over Baltimore, 4-3. Bottom of the 8th, Kansas City leads Cleveland 3-0. And Seattle and Oakland tied at 1 at the Coliseum at the end of 3. National League, they're still playing in Atlanta. The Cubs and Braves 1-1 in the top of the 13th inning. Florida wins at home over Philadelphia 4-3. St. Louis beating up on Arizona 8-3. They are only in the bottom of the 3rd. Dodgers top of the 3rd lead Colorado 1-0. They're at Dodger Stadium in downtown Los Angeles. Houston beats up on Milwaukee in the Brewers home opener 13-7. And the Mets with a run in the top of the 11th beat the Expos in Puerto Rico tonight 3-2. Also in the National League, Cincinnati knocks off Pittsburgh 5-1 at the Great America Ballpark. Right here, Salt Lake with 5 runs in the bottom of the 9th come back to beat the Grizzlies 6-5. When we get back on the Fresno Bee postgame show, we'll set the scene for tomorrow night, Game 3 of this 4-game set in Salt Lake. We'll do it in a moment on KAT 103.1, The One.
Hey, Grizzly fans, make sure you get the most complete Grizzlies coverage by subscribing daily to the Fresno Bee, and we'll cap it all for the cap. If you are a baseball fan, you won't want to miss the Bee's in-depth stories, columns, and box scores that appear every day in the Bee. In addition to the complete coverage of your hometown AAA team, you will also receive all the top local news, entertainment, and advertisements. Call today to subscribe to the Bee for 3 months. Mention this ad, and we will send you a free Fresno Grizzlies baseball cap. Call 411-6233 or 1-800-877-3400 to subscribe and receive your free Fresno Grizzlies baseball cap today.
Churches of the Central Valley, get ready to come together for a night of fun and fellowship as Grizzly Stadium and the Fresno Grizzlies host the 3rd annual Christian Fellowship Night on Friday, May 21st. Grizzly Stadium is the perfect setting to host the churches of the Central Valley as they unify to assist Fellowship of Christian Athletes, Young Life, and Youth for Christ in their outreach efforts to all Valley youth. $3 of every ticket that is pre-sold by church groups for this event will go to benefit those organizations so they can reach every young person with a message of Christ. And that's not all. Before the game, there will be local Christian bands, Absent Stone and Cromwell performing live, and a special on-field check presentation and church recognition. Then the Fresno Grizzlies take the field to battle the Memphis Redbirds. Between innings, fans will get to enjoy the crazy on-field antics of superstars. For more information on how your church can be involved in this big event, contact Brian Merrill at the Grizzlies office, 559-320-2532, or Shane Scott at 559-320-2531. Act now. Seating is very limited. Welcome back to the Fresno Bee postgame show. Final score here tonight in Utah. Salt Lake with 5 on the bottom of the ninth beats Fresno 6-5. Doug Greenwald with you on 103.1. The One. And now it's time to set the scene for tomorrow night. Game 3 of this 4-game series will be on the air. 5:15 Fresno time for the pregame. 5:15 pregame. 5:30 first pitch. Kevin Correa gets his first start of the year, the right-hander for Fresno, and he will go against Jason Middlebrook. Again, 5:15 pregame, 5:30 first pitch. So the Miller Lite pregame is at 5:15. I want to thank Matt Davidson, our board op tonight, and everybody at KAT 103.1, the One for putting this one together, as well as BroadcastMonsters.com and the Fresno Grizzlies front office for making this broadcast possible. Final score again tonight. Salt Lake with 5 in the bottom of the ninth comes back to beat the Fresno Grizzlies 6-5. Have a good evening, everybody.
Thank you for listening to the Fresno Bee postgame show. Join us next time for another exciting edition of Fresno Grizzlies Pacific Coast League Baseball.